Before we reach a new year to begin, we have to witness what comes forward at AEW World's End as we look towards the final pay-per-view of the calendar year 2025 for professional wrestling and all elite wrestling, particularly with the culmination of the Continental Classic, the first ever defense of the inaugurated Women's Tag Team Championships, and so much more on the line as a lot of people have something to prove, and we'll see once and for all who truly is better than you, and if you know it. And so much more in this final year-end edition of Simply Predicting. Welcome, everybody, into the discussion. Let's go ahead and get into it. Hello, everybody, and welcome back here once again to Simply Predicting. Happy holidays, post-holidays to you. Happy Boxing Day, Merry Christmas, all those holidays galore. Hope you all had a wonderful holiday with your families, and so much more good things are to be in store. You know what this is. I am the Superman of the Super Brand, the voice of SOS for Grateful Offense Professional Wrestling. Damn it. My name is Noah Foster, and thank you all for tuning in, whether live or on demand. Please like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. If you want to dictate the conversation, super chat, pay by the passions. It is truly as simple as that. The form, of course, is in the comments. I would love to get y'all's predictions as well in the comments as well. And, of course, I will have the form in the chat below once these streams conclude. And you have till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to make your predictions final. They only count if they're in the prediction leagues form that I, of course, track. As this is the final preview of the 2025 AEW Predictions League. So end strong or start the right way as we head into the new year. I will be rebooting this next year as well. Predictions postmortem with Gina will also be next week to, of course, discuss the winners. Without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the panel, and then let's see how everyone feels. First and foremost, one half of the Canadian Connection. He's all elite. He's always got a unique mind to analyze and always let you know what's on the menu tonight. It is, of course, our great friend, one half of the Canadian Connection. Insert nickname here, pun intended. Nicholas Ferrantes, and a shout out to Mrs. Ferrantes, his partner in chaos that we all appreciate as well. Nick, good to see you. I hope you and your family had a wonderful Christmas holiday. How are you feeling about World's End, my friend?
What's going on, boys? Yep, it should be. We're at the final pay-per-view of the year. It should be a interesting pay-per-view that sets us up for the new year.
Simply put, I like that simple opener, but open, optimistic analysis. Thank you so much. And of course, one half of the VIPs of the Simple Lab Studio. Shout out to Arlene Dominguez that focuses on her education. It's always a pleasure to have Emmanuel Dominguez on the call. Emmanuel, Feliz Navidad post to you. Hope you and your family had a joyous one. How you feel about AEW World's End?
It's gonna be a great one. It's a solid card. We're going to produce, and some outcomes. I'm intrigued with how they gonna work things out because everybody in NoDQ.com says that MJF is the heavy favorite. Now it makes me think that someone else is going to win it because they're going to jinx it. Something tells me they're going to jinx it. So. Let's see
this is no DQ we're talking about. We know what they favor, but continue.
But yeah, so it'd be intriguing what storylines we're going to see in 2026, and let's get the ball rolling.
Before we do that, as always, a reliable analysis by you, and it doesn't get more reliable than the man that works 24/7, 365 day and night in and out of his screen, and sometimes saving dog and animals' lives. Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz has also joined the fray to turn this into a fantastic four. Walter, you made it right on time. How you feel about World's End, my friend? We just called the conclusion of the Continental Classic preliminaries, of course, last night. Now we are finally about here at World's End. How are you feeling? You got your Christmas gift. You're muted. Botch.
No, it looks like you will fuck. No, you look like you're gonna fuck somebody up in that wife beater.
As you're saying.
I'm looking forward to it. It is going to be the end of someone's world. We just got to figure out who it is. Could it be Takesha ending one of the greatest tournament wrestlers ever? Because they meet. I didn't get it as a finals, but God damn it, I got it. At least the first tease of it.
There you go.
Because I'm sure it's not going to be a one-time only thing. And I want to see how dysfunctional this family is going to get.
Of course you do. You love seeing chaos happen in and out of AEW. But then again, who doesn't like a little bit of mischief in their lives? Maybe me, the most part. All right, well, fair enough, Walter. Thank you. Good to see Darren G in the chat as always as well. And again, thank you all for tuning in live. Get your predictions in. You see the link. It's also on my social medias in Fox 916, and it's even on NoDQ because someone has to bring some all elite positivity to that friggin' form that many people call tribalistic and toxic at its heart, but I don't. But I figure without further ado, as I see 25 of you so far as putting your predictions, Superintendent community, all elite fans, professional wrestling fans and enthusiasts and ongoers and first-time spectators too. Let's get right into it. So again, folks, this is AEW World's End. It is the final preview of AEW's calendar year. It comes to us from Chicago, Illinois, of course, from the Now Arena, of course, a very popular stable, as we know, and a very overkill town for professional wrestling in general. And we have 9 matches on tap. Of course, me, Walter, maybe somebody else, we will be on the call tomorrow night covering it live. The only way you can watch is via HBO Max here in the States. But there you can see how you can order it or watch along with us via purchase through your pay-per-view provider. So please look at it accordingly, or if nothing else, enjoy us as the blonde conduit for the entire ride during the entire time. Now, because we're not part of the Predictions League, but damn it, we acknowledge professional wrestling on here, we are going to talk about the 0 Hour because they did give us a match. And again, we are going to cover the 0 Hour. It also is for free for everybody across AEW's social media platforms. As we look towards the newest foundation of AEW, the women's division. And why Nick is a married man, I also sometimes hear his wife in the background. Nick will go first. We have the Sisters of Sin, people who basically thought were going to be the inaugural WWE Women's World Tag Team Champions, taking on a very impressive duo that's been making their ways lately through the AEW Women's Division in High-End and Maya World. High-End and Maya World out of the Texas area. We just saw them against the Babes of Wrath, Harley Campbell and Nightingale last night as the Sisters of Sin continue to cause the madness, coming off their loss to the Babes of Wrath in the semifinals, but still, of course, her and Thekla are trying to turn AEW completely toxic. Considering we know we got the first defense of the tag titles come tomorrow night, could we see the Sisters of Sin take one step closer, being the next ones to challenge for the gold beyond Saturday night? Nick, what's been your thoughts of High-End and Maya World's tag team showcase? And considering now this is the 4th women's tag team AEW they've faced over the last 3 weeks, you know, a couple of workers, they were professional, they would probably find themselves in this spot, I'm just saying. And of course, the Sisters of Sin, Julia O'Hara and Sky Blue, 2 AEW originals that really come into their own. Many people right now are probably invested in them on the chase for the gold. Could this be the first step? What's your thoughts for this women's tag team match? Go ahead, playa.
You know, it's amazing how if you just keep your mouth shut, you just, I don't know, do what you're being paid to do, you can get somewhere in life. Really, like, such a foreign concept. Happy for these 2 girls. You know, let's call Haya and Maya World. You know, they capitalized on a situation that other people's mistakes. So, you know, the saying of another one's loss is another one's gain. So they have all the rules to gain. And then, I mean, the Sisters of Sin, they're Julia and Sky, I think, have taken a new corner with Tekla. More so Sky, I think she's kind of tapped into something that, you know, we've seen both of these girls grow up. You know, Julia from her cheerleading gimmick to being with Malachi and that group. So she's already been there, but to see Sky go from where she was and now where she is now, it truly, like, you watch them grow up right in front of our eyes. So the fact that they're on this card, you know, good for them. I can't see Sky Blue and Julia not winning. So obviously I have them pegged. But I mean, again, another showcase for Haya and Maya World. And hopefully, I assume if they're not signed, they're probably on some tiered deal now. Again, good things happen to those who just.
Well said. Does anyone else have anything further to add? Of course, the 0 Hour, so we always like to, of course, leave it to an agree and disagreement, open discussion here regarding either of these 2 tag teams, the future of High-End Maya World or Julia O'Hara and Sky Blues, maybe 2016 resolutions, if any? Walter, I'll go with you next. Of course, you've invested also in Julia Hart, Sky Blue, Triangle Madness. To Nick's point, Sky Blue, one of the MVPs this year, made Blood and Guts her match, the freaky gymnastic nature with the spider suplexes that Julia Hart and Thekla, of course, persists. And this is the first all-female faction in AEW, not to mention the first one of Spooky Vicious versus a lame brain, sexy endemic. But that being said, Walter, what do you want to say regarding this women's tag match?
This is truly the definition of nothing to lose and everything to gain, because nobody's gonna expect, at least in my opinion, for Maya World and to win or anything. So they have literally everything to gain and nothing to lose. So why not go out there, showcase yourself, and try to surprise the Sisters of Sin? But all honestly, I don't see them winning. But the way the tournament went, why not keep continually shocking us, like, and now let us get shocked by the women's tag division? So I'm here for it. If AEW does that and shock us and get the victory, the Maya World, then I'll be here for it. But it's literally everything to gain and nothing to lose for them.
I like that mindset. Of course, Julia Hart and Sky Blue are coming off that tag loss against Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander. Sky Blue coming off that singles loss against Jamie Hayter recently. Of course, we get ready for the Women's World Championship match. And also, again, High in My World, they also are still very young as a duo, but have shared a lot of history with each other on the Texas Independence. But also with Julia Hart and Sky Blue's tag showcases and promotions like Pro Wrestling Eve, we've already seen AEW talent going next year to Queendom, including Harley Cameron. I do think they need a little bit of momentum heading into the new year to see what it takes them, either as a tag team or as an individual. So I do think, regardless, we are getting more of High in My World. That is an opportunity that is showcasing as a payday. And honestly, with this type of showcasing for these women as a duo, we're not surprised if they become all elite within the next couple of months right now, because they have been showing out. Rico and Alex Windsor, Babes of Wrath, and Ty J, and now they're taking on literally the Sisters of Sin. They're almost going through the entire AEW Women's Tag Team division, and that's gotta mean something. So I
It
really
wouldn't shock me if they literally have to face everybody who was in the tournament.
I mean, all you got left is Timeless Love Bombs and Mega Problems, and whether or not we get one more team after that in a few Mercedes Moné to stick around. We'll talk more about that here shortly. But again, the genesis of this women's division right now is looking very bright and very deep. What a crazy concept. So, yeah, I definitely think Sisters are going to win, but I'm super happy for High, particularly, who I follow quite a bit during her independent time. Recently saw her versus Bert Vixen at Rhodes Wrestling Association. So, High in My World, have a hell of a fight. You're going to need to take one to these Women of Madness, but I do think that Sky Blue and Julia Hart are going to take the match tomorrow night. All right, Manuel, anything further you want to add regarding this women's tech showcase before we get right into the thick of things?
Not really. Like, guys pretty much said it all. I mean, like, right now they have to set up more heel teams to face the baby face team of the tag team champions right now. So, and right now, like, that's what that Julie Hart and Sky Blue is the ones to get that victory. Good for the girls, High End and Maya World. I mean, like this is the first time, like, for me, like I heard of them, so it'd be a great showcase, for those viewers who just see for the AEW pay-per-view and not for the weekly product, and they're going to see what they could provide in the on a world scale viewing.
All right, simple enough. Again, respect women in wrestling. These 4 women fucking kill it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and get
And we
right
gotta,
into
sorry,
the thing. Yes,
no, one quick, and we should also, note this. These are 2 young, here I say young, talent
accurate.
that Tony is looking at to, for the future.
Well, that's what the professional
These
wrestling is all
2,
about.
the I know that you recently watched ROH.
Damn right.
ROH Boxing Day Brawl. So another talent from there that you got to watch is Stormy Denali. Another talent would be, if it's the rumor is true, Helena Cross. Tony is looking at younger women and giving them a chance. He's bolstering up and he's looking towards the future. So we have to commend him on that.
Well, at the end of the day, you only can survive so long on the sub 50 part timers club at the buy one, get one free main event showcase of the Immortals, where it already feels like some of them are on the verge of retirement home. But anyway, what do I know? Anyway, again, this should be a great match. And also, Lita Cross has history with Megan Bain, and I highly suggest you all go watch that match from HOG Archives. That's the way I knew her. But thank you for that, Nick, and I love that outlook because, again, the only way you survive is if you look towards the future, not constantly live in the past, in the present. Adaptive Paris, that's evolution. Even Paul Levesque has said some smart stuff in his long career. All right, let's go ahead now and get actually into the thick of things. And shout out to Nathan Banks and Egg RW1VU also saying their thoughts as well. Now, again, the forefront of World's End, of course, we know is the Continental Classic. Again, thank everybody that's been tuning into our coverage of the entire tournament so far, as we have finally gotten out of the preliminaries. And as they started off last year with one, we're going to start off with one in the main card. We know our semifinalists, our top for the gold, our second for the blue, our top for the blue, our second for the gold. And by the skin of his teeth, in my opinion, the protostar Kyle Fletcher took the gold block, while, of course, the runner-up will be in the other match. Kyle Fletcher will go one-on-one for the first time ever against AEW Men's World Champion, four-time record-setting holding survivor of violence, Jon Moxley. This is a level of experience versus youth in itself, but the danger factor here is on so many other facets. Shout out to Brian Danielson and RJ Simon Paquette that really gave us more of a mental outlook on all four competitors versus the physical treatments we gave them during our post show. Kyle Fletcher, of course, punched his ticket into the semifinals after being Jungle Bat Perry last night, while Jon Moxley found a way to stay alive after beating Fresh Sweet's Orange Cassidy in his final match last night. This is the first time ever one-on-one encounter. Jon Moxley, of course, was a finalist in the first Continental Classic 2 years ago. Kyle Fletcher, he lost in the semifinals last year to Will Ospreay. And ironically enough, folks, Kyle Fletcher's semifinal match last year was the opener. Again, guys, you're mapping out the finals for this year's Continental Classic because the winner of this match will face the winner of the other match in the finals to determine this year's winner, and we will see whether or not reigning defending Continental Classic champion Kazuchika Okada does it again 2 times in a row. But let's look at the other half of the marquee because we know one of these two men have to go forward. This match will have no time limit. There has to be a winner, be a pinfall, submission, and possible disqualification. Now, considering Jon Moxley is already a vulnerable animal with a bad leg, as we know, the left leg, but we also know that Kyle Fletcher can be absolutely reckless, and that might play to his disadvantage like it did when he took Speedball Mike Billy for granted. There really is a lot of heads or tails this way the match can go. We've already seen Kyle Fletcher hang with him and Adam Page for the AEW Men's World Championship. You saw that live, of course, at AEW for 47 minutes. We know Jon Moxley, though, he is a survivor. He's survived his whole damn life. He loves and lives for this shit. But there also has to be a point where this man needs to take a breather. Why he says the work is not done, it still keeps going. He loves what AEW has become, what has been brought out of this roster, but he can't let up. And Kyle Fletcher, in my opinion, I don't think he has no reason to be comfortable here. So does this come down to physicality or mentality? Does youth outweigh experience? Or does Jon Moxley deny in what could be becoming a storyline next year with Don Callis' family implosion imminent or a collision with the Death Riders prominent? Let's go ahead and get y'all's thoughts to who you believe is going to be one half of our semifinalists in the Continental Classic Finals. And we are going to start off with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, Jon Moxley, Kyle Fletcher. Who moves through to the finals in the Continental Classic this year? What do you got to say?
For me, it has to be Kyle Fletcher. This is a good time, a great opportunity to push Kyle Fletcher to the moon, and he's going to be either destroying Will Ospreay in the future in 2026, or and see what Tony Khan has in store, because Kyle Fletcher is the future of AEW, and Jon Moxley, he did what he has to done as a top tier champion. There's nothing much more storyline wise in the Death Riders, in my opinion. He could do it as a leader, and it's time to move on and for him to get kicked out and rebuild his character, because he's if his Lackey Claudio could beat John Moxley, and the match is kind of like a slap to the face to the leader. Like no offense, but for me, Kyle Fletcher needs to win and see where this goes and what they could build up in the future with him.
All right, so you got the protostar. Nick, it's one of those things. Is John Moxley really the leader or is he the bar? Because when Claudio Castagnoli beat John Moxley, what did they do? They went backstage. They worked out together. What did Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley do in the continuation of the Continental Classic? They worked out backstage. Rhea Shafir freaking coaching them and repping them with a 90-second routine that would have killed me in less than 30 seconds. John Moxley and Claudio have even come out and said, if John wins, we win. If Claudio wins, we win. And Claudio even said that verbatim. If Pac wins, we win. The Death Riders seem to have a singular mentality when it comes to if we win, we win. With the Don Callis family, all Don Callis gives a shit about is holding that power, and the power comes with the gold. Again, Kyle Fletcher, youth, unlimited potential, all right? Freaking people already marking him as the world champion next year. Possibly one of the breakout stars this year. I believe ESPN did an article where they talked about the top 10 athletes under 30, and I'm pretty sure it was close to the top 5 in that damn list. So what do you think about this in Kyle Fletcher's future? Because if Kyle Fletcher wins, he is one step closer, and he does exceed his performance from last year. If he loses, he's basically pigeonholed almost into a Will Ospreay stranglehold, as Will Ospreay never got to beat the G1 Climax against his big brother or the all-time great. So what do you think?
I think I think John's winning this.
Oh,
I think John is winning this because if we've noticed throughout the C2, John is coming off, to me at least, he's showing babyface tendencies in the promos that he's cutting. And we know that, with AEW, you kind of have to pay attention to that kind of stuff. So I really feel like John is going to win his match because the story is, for John at least in the Death Riders, it's more about in big situations, can he get it done? What's bigger than the semis? It'd be the finals. So I have John winning this match. And I mean, you guys are right. Kyle is the future, but the future is not now. So.
All right. Fair enough. Well, Walter, this is interesting. You get to break a tie. Before you do that, I want to give a shout out to those that put in their predictions so far. 26 of you so far, including the two. Sienna Chanel, congrats, by the way, on all your work on your wrestling journey and management and ring announcing. Continue forward, my friend. Cheers. Kyle Valamara, Big_Space, best name ever. Jerry Slaughter, David Joseph Diaz, Brandon R., Draco, Greg Aldis, Dwayne Atkinson, the Oofman, our own regular wrestling JJ Williams, Matthew Holitzer, Charlene, Lex, etc., amongst others. Well, Walter, you've already heard an argument for John Moxley. You've heard an argument for Kyle Fletcher. We talked about it a little bit, though, in our post show last night. And again, Kyle Fletcher can be reckless. John Moxley, unlimited violence. And that might be a couple of the attributing factors here when it comes to who actually survives out of this. Not to mention, whoever wins this, they have to go through another match. So damage will have to be a factor. And John Moxley already is coming in here as a wounded animal. So what do you think about this? Who you got going to the finals?
I think you keep it all in the family. I think we're going to see a Don Callis heavy family final. So I see Kyle Fletcher getting past Moxley and Moxley getting the well-deserved break he deserves. I think it was like a year or two ago the man was supposed to go on vacation and had to stop just to carry AEW on his shoulders. Correct. And he did a hell of a job of it, but it's time to go away for a little bit. Enjoy your kid, enjoy Renee, go enjoy the vacation. But in all honesty, I really think that I know what I picked for the finals. I meant for the entire tournament.
Yes.
But I'm gonna leave it, but verbally I may change it because I really feel like it might be the launching pad for Fletcher, and I kept saying it. I kept saying it throughout this entire year of 2025. That man Fletcher is gonna have the AEW title in the year 2026. I don't know at what point in 2026, but that man's got future and world champion written all over him, and he really, really showed it after that Hangman fight. Where that man had the grit, the resolve, everything, and I think, regardless, he earned Hangman's respect after that match. And even though he's a heel and the fans don't want to admit it, he gained everyone's respect after that. And then the Kyle versus Kyle matches, like every match he's done, he's just been getting better and better. I really feel like he's stepping on the launching pad to get to that next level, and it starts with this.
All right. Well, I like that. So 2 for the Protostar and 1 for John Moxley. And the poll right now is 70% in favor of the Protostar, saying his full name, while 30% are going with John Moxley. And again, thinking about the intangibles here, considering John Moxley, of course, is a brawler. Kyle Fletcher, of course, is kind of becoming an all-rounder. But John Moxley has more of a submission-based background he could implement against the Protostar Kyle Fletcher. We saw Kyle try to implement a submission background with Jungle Jack Perry and that ankle, but I don't know if Kyle Fletcher has had enough reinforcement from his Don Callis family compadres to implement submission idea to attack John Moxley's leg. And that might also play to the Death Rider's advantage. So again, experience versus potential here is definitely going to be the tail of the tape for this incredible match to come. First time ever one-on-one. What I also love right now about this freaking Continental Classic foursome, there's no real baby faces here. You just have incredible in-ring athletes that are trying to prove who's the absolute best. And literally 3 of these men are looking for a first time ever, while the other one's looking to continue to make history. Bitch. So again, while it's 3 out of 4 in favor of the Don Callis family, I would not rule out John Moxley. He's done everything else, damn it. But as far as this goes, I look at it like this. If the Death Rider wins, then I'm faced with 1 of 2 scenarios. One I've seen, one I haven't. If the Protostar wins, I'm faced with 1 of 2 scenarios. Again, one I have seen, one I haven't. So either way, there's still that sense of familiarity amongst these 4 competitors, regardless of this win. But I look towards what 2026 outline's going to be. And if 2025 has shown us everything about AEW, which has really been a resurgence, in my opinion, of their roster, let alone the way they've been carrying themselves this year, Kyle Fletcher is at the forefront of it. So I don't think he has to win the whole thing, but I do think he needs to exceed what he did last year. So somehow I'm going to say he overcomes John Moxley. Because remember, no seconds allowed at ringside. One-on-one contest has to be a winner. I'm going to say Kyle Fletcher finds a way to beat him. I'm going with the Protostar like you. Nick, I do see you have a thought real quick. What you got to say before we move on to something non-Continental Classic?
It has. We also have to keep in mind, though, we have to turn the page on this Death Rider story. And
True.
I think the natural kind of sequence of events would be for John to get kicked out. So, regardless if he wins now or he loses now or he loses in the finals, I just hope that we see John's world coming to an end as the leader of the Death Riders on this pay-per-view. We can't go into 2026 with him as the leader. I think that's my only gripe with this.
Fair enough. And of course, Claudio Castagnoli had no words to say versus John Moxley, who was very, like you said, humble and poetic in his backstage interview after Claudio, of course, lost his chance again, thanks to Roderick Strong, who beat him in his pre-ultimate. And again, I thought Claudio, who had the most Continental Classic experience, his 3rd straight one, was finally going to break beyond the preliminaries. Nope, I was wrong. But fair enough. But anyway, guys, good stuff. So that being said, it's Kyle Fletcher, John Moxley, Kyle Fletcher majorities. So we'll see what happens. Good luck to both men. And again, John Moxley, protect your leg. Good grief almighty. Okay. Well, now we move away from the Continental Classic. Let's go into championship contention, shall we? As we look towards history being made by, what are they? Babes. And what do they have? Wrath. As the Babes of Wrath will defend the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships for the first time against Mercedes Moné and Athena. Athena, of course, the still forever Ring of Honor Women's World Champion. Mercedes Moné, still the TBS champion, but is coming off a 2-match losing streak, losing the Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship to Red Velvet at, of course, Final Battle, and just recently lost at Holiday Bash in an open challenge, the Red Undisputed British Women's Heavyweight Championship to Windsor, who is now a 3-time champion, on the verge of her own collapse of her own world. Why Athena, I truly think she may be forever unless she retires, damn it. And of course, this is a rematch from the opening rounds of the inaugural tournament, as of course the Bears of Wrath beat these two, with Harley Cameron hitting Athena. Again, folks, there's no other tale of the tape besides that when it comes to these 4 women and how they've collided. Now, since then, of course, Harley Cameron lost to Athena for the Women's World Championship. And of course, Mercedes Moné was Will Nightingale's undoing when it came to the TBS Championship, her greatest cornerstone in her portfolio. Of course, we ran this match back because Athena and Mercedes Moné were able to outsmart the Babes of Wrath and Timeless Love Bombs thanks to Mercedes Moné's investments in Athena and the Mega Problems after Athena outfaced Will Nightingale to, of course, earn this opportunity. And again, we just saw High in My World last night take the Bears of Wrath in a nice little exhibition. Again, though, first ever defense for the first ever champions. Does their world end immediately, or do we keep on smiling anyways towards the new beginning in the new year? Let's go around and get y'all's thoughts towards this. I expect this to be brief and simple, but also a little bit fun. And I also expect something to give on the right-hand side if you catch my drift. Emmanuel, let's start with you this time on this one as well. What's your thoughts on the Bears of Wrath versus Athena and Mercedes Moné 2? Does this repeat itself? And once again, do we see Mercedes Moné descend into her own world of madness in defeat?
I mean, like you tell yourself, Noah, I'm picking the Bears of Wrath, to take this victory. Unfortunately for Mercedes, her winning streak is now coming to a whole last 2 weeks. She's been losing a lot, and we're gonna keep on seeing her lose. I mean, she's gonna take. I believe she might take the pin, and Athena might be, walking away from her. Like you're not the same Mercedes I've been following. Like you lost your edge. And I think Athena might dethrone Mercedes for the TBS title. Maybe, who knows? That would make sense to me. But who knows when they decide to pull that trigger? But it's time for Athena to pull that trigger, separate from Mercedes, and chase for that TBS title, and see when Tony decides to pull that trigger for Mercedes to lose that title against Athena. But yeah, I see a breakup in this match because Athena doesn't really need Mercedes. Mercedes doesn't need Athena, and Mercedes gonna eventually win the AEW Women's Championship eventually. So
that's a unique food for thought, that last thought there, considering she's lost it twice this year. But I do get what you mean. Okay, fair enough. So he has the Bears of Wrath retaining and Athena Mercedes Moné imploding. I honestly don't think no one's going to have a disagreement towards Emmanuel here. I'm pretty sure we're all freaking unanimous. But your idea of Athena trying to take the TBS championship would be unique. Plus, it would probably get her more on All Elite Wrestling because we all want to see Athena more involved in the AEW Women's Division, not just continuing to spearhead and destroy the Ring of Honor Women's Division and everyone else that graces a Ring of Honor ring, including Persephone, that took Athena quite the distance at Final Battle, but still failed. Again, Persephone is still very young in her career, though, so I think Persephone will rise to bigger things. Maybe the CML Women's World Championship, because she also challenged Mercedes Moné for that. And we've also noticed with Mercedes Moné's losses, they've been matches of redemption towards those that have fallen to her. So Persephone beating her for the CML Women's World Championship is not too far-fetched in 2026. I'm just putting it out there. She did win the CML Grand Prix this year. Watch Persephone in 2026. I'm just saying. But I do agree. I think the Bears of Wrath are going to retain. As far as Mercedes Moné goes, if she eats the fall, it would be unique if Willow was the one to do it. And maybe that runs Willow and Mercedes Moné back for the TBS title, and Willow gets that. The only thing I don't like about that, though, is that Willow would then be a double champion again, and I don't believe the wrestling business needs double champions, honestly. That's why Wrestle Kingdom 20, stay tuned for what the thing will be next week. Me and our Canadian friend Ashley for more details on that. It's going to be very interesting considering 2 matches are that type of situation. But I would love to see Mercedes Moné eat another pinfall and see what it leads to when it comes to her fragile ego collapsing at the scene more than her bank portfolio. But yeah, I agree. Does anyone else have anything further to say regarding this match, or shall we move on? Going once, going.
I really hope that, I mean, the way I would book it
Go
is
for it, bro.
I would actually have Athena take the pin. But as Athena is taking the pin, Mercedes is leaving. And then once the match is over, you have either Tony Schiavone or Tony Khan come out and say, because you did that, because of your actions, the consequences is you need to defend your TBS title right now against Athena. Right?
Oh, whoa.
And thus starting, I mean, it's World's End. This would be Mercedes. We're already seeing the downfall of Mercedes. So I mean, we need to take that. Like, I don't know. I would book it that way. But
It's a
y'all are
unique
not wrong.
situation. I mean, well, also Tony Khan, he doesn't take up airtime. He just gets Tony Schiavone to make the announcement. As again, he's not on-screen character. He's actually doing his damn job.
It's not a bad take, because I know one thing: ain't enough cocaine in the world for him to book the women tag titles to get defended and then lost in the very first defense after creating this, making the tournament, getting new champions, and then immediately shit the bed and somebody wins the title already. We kind of know what this is. Like, this shouldn't even count, to be honest, but ain't enough cocaine in the world for Tony to book that.
Babes of Wrath, I think you can't just you just got the titles. You can't have them now lose them. But at the same time, we have to figure out how Mercedes is dropping all these belts. Like, she's already dropped a couple, which is nice. But there's really only, I mean, in my eyes, there's one that stands above the rest, and that's the TBS title.
That makes sense. It's also her longest one. Because you just lost her second longest one, of course, to Alex Windsor. That makes perfect sense. And we just talked about before the two women tag teams in the 0 Hour, including the Sister of Sin, that have history with the Babes of Wrath. It makes sense to start building that back up in some dynamic in 2026. So yeah, I just don't see. And we also know Tony Khan values championships and champions. It's not like he's going to hot potato it. So I do like that impromptu match setup, though, because hell, what happened at Wrestle Dream? We had an open challenge by Mercedes Moné. Mina Shirakawa answered it, became title for title, and we all saw what happened there. World's End, though, Mercedes Moné on the brink of collapse, losing another champion because Athena's like, I'm tired of your freaking shit. You can't get the job done. That would be wild to do that. And again, Athena has not yet beaten Mercedes Moné.
Well, it'd be more of, you hung me out to dry. Now I'm going to fuck you over.
Right. Because last time that didn't happen because, of course, the last time it happened, it was Mercedes Moné terrified of Chris Statlander for all the right reasons. Okay, fair enough. And somehow, some way, it's not unanimous in the poll. One person bet their house probably. They picked Mercedes Moné and Athena. I don't know if they were sober on cocaine, but hey, more power to you. 96% with the Babes of Wrath retaining. Okay. Good job, guys. All right, let's go ahead and move on from there to something that seems as clear as night and day. What's up, Walter? You got something to say real quick? Emmanuel, acknowledge you. What are you doing? You fool.
I thought he had to say. Oh, okay, no, I was rubbing my beard.
Okay. He's not the Rizzler. He's not the Rizzler. Damn it. Fucking hell. All right. Moving on to something that should be as clear as night and day to something that is a psychiatric's nightmare. Let's see what happens when two madmen collide for the first time. Get your hospital bills ready. Because Gabe Kidd's going one-on-one with Darby Allin. What the fuck's about to happen here? Now, truth be told, people might think this story is as simple as what happened this week. Darby Allin said, Gabe Kidd's not my problem. Well, Gabe Kidd basically made him his problem. After throwing him down that same flat stairs he was thrown down in January and reminding Darby Allin about his own mortality, thinking that you're indestructible, man, you ain't shit. Of course, this really picks up when Gabe Kidd was brought in as Jon Moxley's mercenary. And of course, things escalated in Philadelphia when Gabe Kidd was dragged out of a body bag, chained to the back of a truck, feeling his skin against that body bag in concrete. Then we, of course, saw Gabe Kidd send Darby Allin to his own fucking inferno with the bastard Pac, And of course, that ridiculous lights out steel cage match at Forbidden Door. Why Gabe Kidd was sent down off 3 tables prior to that by Darby Allin. These two have really tried to destroy each other so far since the better part of the summer. And of course, Darby Allin just now got medically cleared to compete after losing his spot in the Continental Classic. I also want to put this forward because, again, next week is Wrestle Kingdom 20. Gabe Kidd will be alongside his War Dogs and the Unaffiliated, taking on the United Empire in 10-man tag team action, and X yet to be revealed on the opposite side. So the bottom line is this. Who the fuck ends at World's End with something to look forward to begin in 2026, as Darby Allin suddenly said yesterday, I'm going to be your World's End. Let's go around and get y'all's thoughts towards the most violent match of the night, shall we? And this time, we will start with Walter. Walter, we're dealing with two fucking madmen here and a living, breathing cadaver that you said already has a hospital bed reserved for him no matter what he does. So what do you got to say about this match?
Most professional wrestlers book and stay in hotels and then tour the country before their matches. I think Darby has been in hospital rooms more than he's been in hotel rooms. Like, I think he seriously reserves hospital rooms instead of hotel rooms.
Damn.
This fucker's been everywhere. Like, I think he's literally visited every hospital in America at least once. Like, seriously, no matter where they go.
And some probably outside the country for all we know, Canada included.
Yeah, exactly. So I honestly think he's been in more ambulances than he's been in cars. Like, this dude is gonna get a hospital trip again. Whatever the nearest hospital is to that arena, it's already booked. I think Gabe Kidd is gonna kill this guy. Like, seriously, he's just gonna be a launch pad. I really do think Gabe Kidd is gonna throw this dude everywhere in that arena. I'm not saying it won't be competitive. Darby's gonna come close, but I don't know. You don't with Gabe Kidd. Like, go watch a New Japan match. Just watch anything that man is involved in. That's one person that you don't pick a fight with. And Darby's nuts. He may have a bat, and Sting's influence on him. I just don't think it's enough. Like, honestly, I feel bad for Darby. I'm telling you, the hotel room is already reserved, and the doctor's on standby. Like, no PTO is approved for any doctor in the area.
Damn. Wow. I'm kind of surprised with that pick, by the way, because hi Nick. 93% went with Darby Allin, 7% went with Gabe Kidd, but apparently Walter just called Gabe Kidd to be Darby Allin's temporary end. Again. What the fuck? Nick, go ahead and lend your thoughts towards this. Do you actually agree with Walter?
Yes. Yes. I you know what? I would have said Darby, but something key that you just said that I didn't realize. That match that they're having at the Tokyo Dome. You said we know that it's the War Dogs versus the United Empire, right?
Correct.
And we know that Andrade El Idolo,
holy shit,
is on the side of the United Empire, right?
He's the new money man. He's the new investor. That's absolutely correct.
And we still need one more guy to fill that out.
Yep. There's your graphic.
Gabe Kidd taking the win here, and then Darby will get his revenge at the Tokyo Dome. I'm going Gabe Kidd.
Wow, this just really fucking surprised me. Okay, well, believe it or not, I'm going with Darby Allin for one reason only. You cannot kill what won't die. I'm pretty sure I've said that about somebody else in this wrestling business, but I can't remember who. I think it was PCO, also a Canadian. And also, when it comes to Darby Allin fighting from underneath, he's already out and conquered every Death Rider. There's only one man he hasn't beaten, and that is Gabe Kidd in some capacity. Let's not forget, he's also coming off that loss to the Bastard Pack at Full Gear. So he's due probably to get that 50-50 booking win. And I have no fucking idea what direction Darby Allin's going in 2025, even if our favorite scumbag surprises us considering the history those two men have had over AEW lifetime. That being said, I'm going against both of you. I'm actually going with Darby Allin. Because at the end of the day, he can get fucked up, but all it takes is 3 seconds. Last summer, goodbye, see ya. I'm going with Darby Allin here. Let's see if Emmanuel makes it 50-50. Emmanuel, what do you think? I cannot believe that we got a split pull here.
I know, right? It's crazy. I'm really torn about this because you make sense, Noah. Like, if he's the last one he hasn't defeated, it makes sense for Darby to get the win. But at the same time, like, I agree with Nick. If no, hang on. I go with you, Noah. But I go with Darby. Darby is still gonna join that tag team match because he hasn't had enough of a gay kid trying to put him into a hospital. He said, "No, you didn't go to you went to the hospital once. I can send you again to the hospital. Why not?"
You guys did see what Gabe Kidd did to freaking what's the Kenny Omega last year, right?
That was January
Or
5th this year,
earlier
bro.
this year, I should
We
say, not
called
last
it.
year, but
Yes,
yeah.
I know. He's got an unbelievable toe con. He's got an unbelievable fighting spirit, but he and Yosuji just lost the World Tag League. His War Dogs, the unaffiliated, are impromptu booked in a 30-minute 10-man tag at WrestleMania 20 that might change the identity of New Japan as we know it. And Gabe Kidd's worst problem is Gabe Kidd, because I don't know if he's true to New Japan or he just loves the damn fight. Remember, this man cursed the freaking earth of AEW, but damn it, he's still taking the money. Now he's got a chance to get a freaking pay-per-view payday, and the only person he seems to coexist with a mindset with is Jon Moxley.
He doesn't care. Gabe Kidd doesn't care about victory. You got to remember what a War Dog motto is. If you're not gonna beat him, you send him in a body bag.
Bring gold or bring bodies. You do have a point. You do have a point.
And who better is that gonna affect than freaking Darby Allin?
Fair enough. I love the fact this match is 50-50.
Probably going to lead to a body bag match with these two.
Don't, God. As long as fire's not involved, I'll take whatever violence they throw at me as long as no one gets stabbed. Okay? Either way, Darby, Gabe. Yes, man, I do see you have your hand before we move on. Wow.
At least it's not like Vince McMahon. He'll force them to be a tag team somehow. Gay Kid and Darby Allin. It's gonna be
the freaking madman that Dr. Shelby would get killed over. All right, fair enough. Well done, guys. I love the fact this was so partisan. I didn't think it was going to be that partisan. You really surprised me. Okay, well, moving on from there, let's go ahead and continue the madness, shall we? Because I don't know whether you like your trail mix sweet or salty, whether you eat the M&Ms or the walnuts or the almonds or whatever's inside that, but I've never heard this as a tagline for an 8-person mixed tag in my life. Look at this crazy shit. From one Death Rider to all of them. Because we are going to have let me make sure I get this right, Mix Nuts Mayhem 8-way. It is the Death Riders, Marina Shafir, Claudio Castagnoli, Dan Garcia, and Scrappy Yappy Willa Yuta taking on, yes, folks, you are looking at that correctly. What the fuck world am I living in? Timeless Tony Storm and the Conglomeration. Prestige Queen Jordan's Cassidy, the TNT champion Mark Briscoe, and Roderick Strong. Whether or not he still truly is not conglomerating after what happened last night to build this match, and after what Kyle O'Reilly says, that might be the tale of the tape. Straight up, folks, this goes like this. Marina Shafir has been the problem for the Timeless Love Bombs after saying that I have suffocated and squeezed your forever lover more than you. Damn. As, of course, Mina Shirakawa fell to sleep in mother's milk. And then Tony Storm came down to her aid, and one stiff kick right to the jaw dropped her in the right place, some would say, on her forever lover, not out. Why she says she survived rats, hookers, and tramps, and everything else between in New York City. Marina Shafir saying that I'm your biggest problem. And of course, Roderick Strong beat Claudio Castagnoli to upset him and eliminate him from the Continental Classic. And Wheeler Yuta and Dan Garcia came down on the attack. Of course, the history with Orange Cassidy and Wheeler Yuta, it says itself. And Dan Garcia recently lost to Mark Briscoe when it came to the TNT title. So talking about the Death Riders, the direction, and this mindset. Here's your cause and effect, folks. What the fuck happens here? I expect this to probably be the most craziest of predictions and thoughts. And who I'm with, Lord help my sanity. Let's go around the horn and get y'all's thoughts towards this. And here in AEW, the men aren't afraid to fight the men and vice versa. In fact, we're looking at two of the most lethal, non-binary female wrestling competitors in the damn business. So keep that in mind, by the way, as you might see Marina Shafir go after her own husband. let's go ahead and get your predictions towards this. Let's start with the most irrational person in the room. Nick, I'll start with you. Your thoughts on this mixed mayhem? Nuts and ovaries combined. Go ahead. Who's your pick to win this?
Jeez. I'm gonna say the baby faces. I think
Okay.
I think the baby faces because I think this I think this show sets up the end of the Death Riders. So I have them losing.
Oh, wow. That was actually very sensible. Okay. Short, sweet, simple, and to the point, considering this match was really made last night. Before I move on, this is about as random as it gets. This is a conglomeration of absolute madness on both sides. Does anyone have anything further to say, or do you all agree with Nicholas Frontes? Going once, going twice. Emmanuel?
The only complaint I have about this match is like, why Toni Storm? It could have been any other woman wrestler. She really doesn't need to be in this match, in my opinion. She needs a day. I know, I get it. She's the face of the women's division, but for me, it's like, put somebody else there. It's okay for Toni Storm not be in a pay-per-view. Let her rest. Let her recharge her batteries. It's okay for her to, step aside because, like for me, like I keep saying it. At this Toni Storm, who's above her level? It's like we need to establish more women wrestlers about the same credibility as Toni Storm.
I would agree with your point, except for one thing. Maria Shafir has been establishing herself this year, particularly in and out of the ring, being this threat that no one wants to be in the ring with. And the biggest problems to her and the mega problems have been Thomas Toni Storm and Maria Shafir, Thomas Toni Storm and Mina Shirakawa. Look at the history in Blood and Guts. It was Thomas Toni Storm that surrendered after Mina Shirakawa was trapped in mother's milk on broken glass, being whipped like a government mule by Megan Bain, and Toni Storm surrendered to save her forever lover who was incapacitated. Following that, hardcore holiday death match. Let's not forget who won that, by the way. Of course, thanks to Luther Claus and a freaking shoe to the head. Maria Shafir got brained, and Mina Shirakawa and Thomas Toni Storm beat the Mega Problems and eliminated them from the Women's Tag Team Championship tournament. Now we move forward here, where the problem continues to be the biggest problem of the Forever Timeless Love Bombs, as Maria Shafir beat Mina Shirakawa. And considering Mina Shirakawa's level of experience versus the fact that Marina and Mina both have the same level of professional wrestling history in the business, that's a major win for Maria Shafir last night. And she did it quite easily, actually. Freaking headed clap, mother's milk, goodbye, good night. That's all she wrote, just like that. So now Timeless Toni Storm, who might I add, has never faced Maria Shafir in one-on-one action. This literally might set up towards that, because we're going to know this is going to go nothing fights. So while you're talking about establishing the women's division, they're establishing Maria Shafir to be someone to be fucking forced to be reckoned with. And they've done a pretty damn good job at it. That being said, Walter, you got anything further to say?
I think conglomeration wins, and I think the reason Tony's involved is gonna be some kind of weird love story with the Southern Gentleman, with Briscoe and Tony or something. I don't know. It's gonna be a weird thing with Mina, her. I think it's just involved, and I see Marina Shafir putting the mother's milk on her own husband. I feel like he's just gonna do that to put her over and make her look like a star. It's his wife. Why not, right?
I mean, for all we
Make
know,
her look badass.
For all we know, they've
Yeah.
already been doing it. You know, you
I
have those
mean,
rough
he
nights.
gets mother's milk every night any damn way when they go home. So why not do it in front of the world? So yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
I really see that happening, but yeah. But I feel like she's still gonna look strong. It's not gonna be her fault. It's probably gonna be Willa Yuta to take the pin if they do lose. I can see it go in either way. This is one of the matches that I'm really torn by. Cause I don't know, but if all the Death Riders lose, like, cause I'm already predicting Moxley to lose, and now the rest of them are gonna go down too. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I kind of like the fact that they did this, cause it could be the downfall. And after Moxley already lost, if because I'm assuming that match is gonna be before this, and then this will be the match that puts them over where they start blaming Moxley. It's because we lost our leadership or something. Like you could lead that into a story or something. It's your fault, and then they start blaming Moxley. We didn't lose our edge until you started to lose yours, if you know what I mean.
That's
Yeah.
a fair shout.
It's all about match placement. I think if this
Oh, yeah.
goes on, if this match goes on before Mox, yeah, it's all going to come down to match placement. I think the match placement will give us a better idea of what story they're going with.
Yeah, and of course, Marina Shafir has been the ride or die partner of John Moxley, of course, hyping him up, while Claudio Castagnoli and the other Death Riders have kind of been going their own way together. We even saw that during the match in the Continental Classic. And speaking of seeing matches their own way, Charles Schultz is finally joined the fray. Charles, welcome to City Predicting. Good to hear you, my friend. We're talking about this conglomerating madness of Death Riders and Mixed Nuts Mayhem. So go ahead and lend your thoughts towards this and talk about your AEW World's End hype if you wish to. Welcome to the conversation.
Oh, one, it's good to be here as always, and also there's gonna be a lot of nuts in this match. Look, the name itself, okay.
Again, this is the best name I've ever heard for a mixed tag in my life.
Yeah, I highly doubt it's a mixed tag. Pretty much everyone's just gonna beat the hell out of each other. I don't think it would matter.
Yeah, you know that's fair, and I expect Pac and Mina and who knows who the fuck else might get involved. Hell, Mega Bane might get involved here. Let's forget the Mega Problems are still very much a Mega thing. So again, fair point.
A lot of mega and statements.
About to say. All right. That being said, it is not unanimous, but it's 85% in favor of timeless conglomeration. By the way, Mark Briscoe and Thomas Tony Storm in the same sentence. I can't believe how normal that still sounds. And 16%, of course, for the Death Riders. Either way, I think this builds the Thomas Tony Storm versus Marina Shafir, and it was the primitives on New Year's Smash on Christmas Eve, AEW Dynamite. Okay, so everyone.
I agree with you on that one. I'd love to see a one-on-one match.
I think we're building towards that, honestly.
If we do, I would love to see, and I think I mentioned this on something else we were doing. I would love it. I mean, for this to work, she has to re-sign, but I would love for Marina to start her own pseudo Death Riders kind of faction.
A lethal women's faction.
Yeah, and she has, because I feel like you can turn, so she'd have her faction, and she'd have in her faction Tay Mello and Anna Jay. And you can have them be like, I don't know, like this, like, Marina can kind of teach, because it looks like Marina's that teacher kind of type, right?
She literally is training the Death Riders as we speak.
So she can be the one to maybe train Anna and Tay to be more of a ruthless Anna Jay, and you can also kind of parlay that into them not doing well in the women's, the women's tag team championship tournament.
I mean, yeah. The mega Problems beat them, and we haven't seen Ty J basically. And of course, Ty Mello is a multi-belt Brazilian judo. Anna Jay is still very much the genesis of her career, but she's already tested her strong spirit in Stardom.
Yeah, so and that for that to work, Anna needs to resign. So we can say, let's say if she does, I wonder. Another thing you can't do, because I feel like with this show you are going to get some surprises. I think a surprise will come. I don't know if, so I need a fact checker on this from the chat. Is Shayna Baszler signed to WWE, or is she out of her 90-day compete?
She's in NXT. She's like a producer or something for them now. She's just not an active competitor.
Official though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's some kind of
producer.
Backstage, yeah, something.
Well, I remember she was okay. Well, if she is, then that doesn't work. But if she isn't, or there's something we haven't heard, I like to see Marina Shafir and Shayna Baszler as a tag team.
That would be incredible.
Dude, you could build her up badass, and Tony's got the money to do this. You make her seem like she's unstoppable in this MMA thing, and dude, go after Ronda Rousey and see if she's still interested in wrestling, and try to sign her and make them go one-on-one, dude. Tony's got the money for that shit.
I mean, they did tag together Ring of Honor one time, but again, crowd reception could also be a key factor. You gotta consider that, especially with AEW.
Yeah, but I feel like if Ronda comes in and listen, for better or worse, Ronda just bees herself, not anything that she's not.
True that.
I feel like that plays into what Walter said. Like that would be a heel Ronda Rousey when she's not handcuffed to
Hmm.
anything.
Right. All right. The
Dude,
fair
there'll be a
points all
judo
around.
tag team. They both do
Yep.
judo. Like she's a bronze medalist in the Olympics, Ronda, from freaking judo. And
That's
then
And they
I
are
correct.
know
friends.
Shafir does judo. Like that'd be like I've been hounded for like an MMA group like of real MMA fighters forever, dude.
Yes, you have.
If they actually pull their trigger and make it all women, that shit would be awesome.
Who were in the four horsewomen of MMA? It
Marina
was
Shafir,
Ronda.
Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke.
Hmm.
And what's up with? There you go. There's three out of the four. Again, this is if Shane is not like if her. I remember
All I know is WWE dropped the ball with Shayna Baszler, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Because the more I hear Shayna Baszler's name, and it's not NXT, my NXT, the more it fucking pisses me off. But continue, Nick. Sorry.
no. It's if she's not if she's. I remember she was doing stuff with NXT when she was on her 90-day no compete. Now I don't
Correct.
know. Again, I don't know if she's signed or is signed. If she's not, if she is, then it is what it is. If she's not and she
Oh no,
can,
it's actually not official. She was just learning
Yeah, I'm about to say that
how
was
to
a
do
learning
the
thing, I thought.
headset and stuff, but nope, she's not officially signed.
so I mean, if she's
That was-
not, again, we don't know if there's things that we have been out there that we didn't hear of. But yeah, why don't you try that?
I mean, I would love to see that be a different dynamic. And again, with AEW putting a personifying outlook on all styles of professional wrestling. And we've already seen Sky Blue talk about she would love to see more women factions. We've already seen how far the Triangle Madness have carried themselves. Of course, creating our first ever women's blood and guts match that blew War Games out the damn water and sunk it to the bottom of the ocean. It's just one of those things right now where this dynamic would absolutely work in AEW and it would be justified. But also Lena Cross right now, also in the crosshairs as well. That's a whole nother power player that could be a force American weapon in the AEW Women's World Championship picture. But I love this idea that we look at Marina Shafir being someone more of a focal point as a guidance in the women's division. Because so far, she's definitely proven it. And her and Thomas Toy Storm will be a hell of a kickoff in 2026 and a first time ever. But good stuff, guys. But either way, we're all conglomerating and believe the conglomeration are going to win this Mixed Nuts Madness. Again,
She may be the only one that I can believe could beat Athena for the ROH title. Like if Shafir did it and like they did it and they build it right, she'd be the only one that's believable to me that she did that when you see her.
Yeah,
do
but
it.
would you want a babyface Athena though?
no.
She don't have to be a baby. She faced Mercedes. There was heel versus heel. She faced her for the TBS title, and
True.
you don't have to change the dynamic. It's just I don't know. Shafir would probably organically get over as a face herself from being respected as a badass without wanting to be a face. Like how the crowd just starts respecting the shit out of somebody and starts
Yeah,
cheering
like they
for
did in the
them.
Hammerstein
Yeah,
Ballroom,
yeah.
clearly.
Like it's not like they're gonna pursue her as a face, but it's almost just like that anti-hero thing that people just start liking. It's amazing. You let somebody go out there, be themselves, and be a badass. People start respecting and actually liking their talent. It's not the character. It's just let her be herself.
Well, AEW definitely encourages you to do that, if not figure out yourself. So I respect that. All right. Well, either way, we're all conglomerating. The conglomeration wins the Mixed Nuts Madness, but it leads to something Maria Shafir and Thomas Toy Storm, and we're expecting all outside parties to be involved in this 10-man tag, or excuse me, 8-person tag that's going to break down into something hardcore, I think. Speaking of hardcore, we're in Chicago. Chicago knows how to riot, so let's go ahead and talk about Street Fight. As the AEW Tag Team Championships are on the line, and Chris Charles Schultz, since you're here, first, I'll let you kick things off here. Of course, FTR. We saw the VAR. Well, I did, as the Bang Bang game was screwed technically during Holiday Bash, and have looked to basically teach FTR a lesson and the small guy that can't get no hoes. Basically, FTR are defending the World Championships for the second time against the Bang Bang Gang, and this time it's Chicago Street Fight. Now, people are looking to see if we're going to breathe from a certain individual at World's End. Talking about surprises, but I don't know. And we're also waiting to see an ultimate opportunity arise in itself ahead of the Canadian tour. because we also haven't seen two men, particularly since AEW All Out. Either way, it's FTR versus Bang Bang Gang, insert number here, but it's FTR versus Bang Bang Gang 2 with this pairing of Austin Gunn and Rock Hard Juice Robinson, where again, Dax and Cash literally escaped by the skin of their teeth. Charles, do you believe there's going to be new AEW Tag Team Championships, or is this the Bang Bang Gang's last chance? They run out of bullets and they fail, and FTR top guys stand tall at World's End heading into 2026. What do you guys say regarding this?
Oh boy. One, the Bang Bang Gang is losing. It's Adam Copeland and Christian Cage are the only team that's going to take those tag titles from FTR at this point. That's the only way it has to go. And I do expect Copeland to return after this match, so we can set that all up with the return eventual Christian.
All right.
Simple as that.
Took the words out of my mouth. Majority does agree with Kim, by the way. 89% with FTR, 11% with the Bang Bang Gang. Does anyone have their guns down and want to say anything further regarding this, or are we all unanimous? Silence, of course, is golden, so I will assume silence means we're unanimous. So going once, going twice, and that will do it. All right. Good job, everybody. Let's go ahead and move on to our next match. That probably was the easiest match of the night to talk about because, yeah, I mean, literally, FTR, there's no reason for them to lose the tag titles versus the biggest story waiting to see happen, where literally Adam Copeland and Christian Cage came to AEW for one last run, encouraged by Adam Copeland itself. From fuck you to find you to let's do it. And you know that Bev Copeland has a receipt waiting for that small gnat. So, yeah. FTR wins. But I wouldn't mind seeing the Switchblade return also because Lord knows we need Switchblade JY in AEW. Anyway. All right. Good job, guys. That was simple. Let's go ahead and move now into more serious business. Let me get towards the tail end of this card. Just freaking scrolling's not working for me. There we go. Let's go ahead and look towards what I believe is definitely going to be part of, I don't know why shows do this anymore. What's a main event? You got a triple main event, double main event, all these matches, marquee, etc. So we'll go ahead and look at the Women's World Championship. At the start of the night, Chris Statlander defends the AEW Women's World Championship against Jamie Hayter. Both these women...
Time out.
What?
You're going first on this. I'm calling it. We're making your ass pick first. You gotta go first.
Fine.
I agree.
Shut the fuck up. Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter for the AEW Women's World Championship. Both these women, of course, have been to the top, have lost everything. They know who they are. Jamie Hayter, of course, lost the title due to injury. Chris Statlander lost 600 days of her wrestling career due to injury, has lost friends, betrayed friends, stands on her own, but has come to know exactly who she is. Why this has been a year of reformation, Jamie Hayter, it's been a year of, I think Chris would say, comfort. Because ever since the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, Chris Statlander says, Jamie Hayter, you still feel very familiar. We, of course, saw these two tag together against the Sisters of Sin most recently and win. Jamie Hayter beat Sky Blue. After a Triangle of Madness attempted 3-on-1 attack, Chris Statlander came down, got decked with Hayterade. We saw that intense, subtle face-to-face where actions spoke for Jamie Hayter's words as Chris Statlander caught the lariat, but like Jamie Hayter said, last time I hit you with this, you didn't get back up. Chris Statlander, though, has said verbatim that she will continue to get back up, but will you show me what you need to be? Prove to me that you deserve to be on your throne. Don't fear me for what I face. Fear me for what I become. Bottom line is this. Chris Statlander, you want to talk about young, resets, youthful, potential. The AEW Women's Division is that in space versus the developmental plan of the other company. Chris Statlander at the forefront of it, who is more familiar than most of these women on this entire roster. Outside Thekla and Mina, the only two she hasn't faced yet in some sort of capacity. She has to continue to spearhead this AEW Women's Division. For me, I want to see the Jamie Hayter that I first saw in Stardom. She doesn't have to have the silver hair. I love her retro style, but I want to see the ultimate badass hard hitter, take no prisoners. You want this championship? Fucking prove it. Forever, I'm a hater, but I follow Chris Statlander through AEW on her rise and fall and rise again. Reformation, only one that fucking called it. And AEW All Out, where she finally won the AEW Women's World Championship, hitting timeless Tony Storm at the end of the process, and beating her in a fall of singles. Chris Statlander fucking wins, continues to spearhead this women's division. And as far as Jamie Hayter goes, turn heel and prove to me you deserve to be women's champion again. But hit Chris Statlander so damn hard, you remind her exactly how hard of a bitch you are. But Chris Statlander is retaining. Now, let's go ahead and go around the horn and see what the rest of you all got to say. And because everyone here cares about the AEW Women's Division, the Women's World Championship, and I know everyone's going to try and freaking talk about me, let's go around the horn and see what you yahoos got to say. Walter, you're next. To start with you. AEW Women's World Championship. Chris Statlander coming off wins against Mercedes Moné and timeless Tony Storm. Now facing a former AEW Women's World Champion and another person he has yet to beat in singles action. What do you got to say regarding this?
I agree with you. That's where it's at. She's gonna get a revenge. She lost last time against her. She's gonna get a revenge. There's no way she can lose. What is this? Her second title defense? They're not. Third. They're not gonna make her lose that fast. You're a hater. I'm a hater. We all respect her, but nah. This is that's where it's at. It's her time to shine for a while. We're gonna go into the new year with her raising the bar, and whoever really gets to beat her for the title is truly gonna be someone maybe on the come up that really needs to be elevated. I don't think Hayter is the one right now, and I don't see Stat's title run ending anytime soon. I think she's gonna have a pretty lengthy title run.
Yes.
I don't know as long as Tony's, but she will.
Well, again, Lena Cross possibly coming in. I'm about to add, Chris Statlander is still the Pressing Eve International Champion, and she will defend that against Dakota Kai next year at Eve Queendom. Not to mention, Chris Statlander, like I said, completely rebuilt athlete, brings all the tools to the table, technician, power. We got two of the most powerful bitches, by the way, in the AEW Women's Division, duking it out for the title. After this, give me Megan Bayne. Give me Fekla for the first time ever, who you know is waiting in her web of madness, watching on from above, seeing these flies play. You know Fekla is going to be going after these two following this match. It's just a matter of going after the gold or going after Jamie, who had her first singles loss at Wrestle Dream, by the way. So also keep that in mind. But good,
I don't
want
to see Megan Bayne face her until she had the title for at least like 6 months, to where you know she's about to lose it. Because I would rather have Megan Bayne actually be the one to actually take it from her. I don't want to see Megan Bayne eat a bunch of losses. Like, don't do the Megan Bayne and her rivalry until it's at least you're ready for her to lose the title. Like, you can do that thing where it's going to take 3 matches, you know, one ends in double or some kind of, you know, controversy. The second one, Stat barely wins, and then you got to lead to the rematch, and then Megan can take it off of her. As much as I want to see it, if I've been patient as hell with Takesha and Okada, I can be patient with Megan Bayne and Stat, and they deserve to get all the hype. Like, I don't want to see them face maybe until August in London. Like, if she can keep the title that long. But if you have to, that's a long ass time from now. It's like 8 months. So maybe that's a little too much. So, like,
there's more than enough depth that she could do
at least
it, though.
Past Revolution. When's Revolution?
Revolution's in March, and Dynasty, of course, will be in April, but this time up in Canada.
Maybe those two. Maybe Revolution or Dynasty, but World's yeah, August is a little too damn long. But
well, you never know. And again, like you said, the depth is there, and it sounds like they're trying to add even more to Nick's points, youthful talent, and the history that Chris Statlander has shared with so many of these women, including a doctor we haven't seen for a while, might I mention. There's a huge storylines approved of women athletes to challenge Stat for the title and prove that they deserve to hold on to this championship. Like I said, Chris Statlander is 100% locked in. I don't think Jamie Hayter is, but Jamie Hayter knows she can hit her hard. Can she hit her hard enough for the 3 count? I don't think so. But I'm very looking forward to this fucking match. But that being said, it's 2 for Stat. Emmanuel, you're next. You're pausing this women's championship match. If Jamie Hayter loses, you gotta imagine Jamie Hayter is gonna really rethink about herself in 2026, and maybe she might take things a little bit more seriously.
Yeah, I'm surprised of you, Noah, being a hater. Be a biggest hater fan and not picking her. Jamie Hayter would be disappointed at you, man.
First off, I met the woman live, charming Brits. You can shut the fuck up. And secondly, just because I'm a fan of two faves in a match that matter for a championship that I care about, doesn't mean I play the fence like you yahoos sometimes who walk on gray and freaking don't pick a definitive winner. I know who deserves it. I know who could get there for it. Jamie Hayter was there for it. She even said back then she wasn't ready for it. Chris Statlander made herself ready for it. I don't think Jamie Hayter has yet. There's a time and a place and a moment for everything. And right now it's Stats time, and fuck all the haters. Now continue.
Anyways, in my opinion, they kind of pulled the trigger a little bit too fast. I was hoping to see this match in 2026, but it is what it is. Chris Statlander for the win. Like, there's nothing like it's her third defense. Is like it's not necessary. I just wish that we could have had a different type of opponent. That way, you see the questions like, can she beat Hayter? Can she beat the Bane and so on and so forth during her deep title run circuit. So that's my only complaint.
I mean, that's fair. Again, insert name here against Statler. As soon as she won the title, I jumped up on my seat and Nick saw it live. Fuck you, by the way, for that. Literally, I put out a who's who of names that I wanted to see Chris Statler defend this title with. Jamie Hayter was at the top, so I didn't think they were going to go this soon with it. But again, shared enemy with Triangle of Madness, and that might weave a web for something sooner rather than later with someone else that Jamie Hayter has very familiar with, but Chris Statler has never faced off with. Just saying. All right, that's 3 for Stat. By the way, it's not unanimous here. Chris Statlander, 97%. One person did go with Jamie Hayter, and as you all heard, it wasn't me. All right, Nick, let's go ahead and get your thoughts towards Chris Statlander and Jamie Hayter.
Statlander.
There you go. Good man. Simple as that. Anything else to say, or are you done? Yep.
Statlander.
Again, he doesn't need to say anything else. He saw the woman win it live. Charles, close this thing out. What you got to say regarding this match and where we go with the AEW Women's World Championship?
One, I kind of wish this match was happening at All In, just because where All In was taking place. That's just number one, which is why I wish it was somebody else. But in this case, I do expect Chris to retain.
I'm just wondering if Chris Statlander is going to kick out of a hater raid, or how many hater raids Jimmy Hayter going to try and use to take her down.
Going to be none.
Intense. I mean, yeah, that's true. She might not get it at all. We saw Chris Statlander capture the arm. I'm just ready to see these two hit each other fucking hard for a championship that matters to me. This match right here has my full attention. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good job, everybody. While we all say Saturday night, Chris Statlander is where it's fucking at. Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, fucking kill it. Okay.
You know what else they could do? I was thinking about the Megan Bang. Do another women's casino gauntlet match. Have Megan Bang win that, and then she challenges Statlander. That's how you
No.
do that.
No, man.
Next over the casino gauntlet matches.
Because wasn't the women's one? Wasn't it in January of last
It was
year?
in January, and of course we saw who won that night. Very good.
Yeah, but we should keep, if we do it, if I'm Tony, I'd rather do the casino gauntlet at All In and have that be your Money in the Bank match.
Okay, that's fair.
There is not a pay-per-view in January or February. So, I mean.
Well, Grand Slam's in February, but continue.
Oh, but that's not a pay-per-view, I don't think.
It's a special, but you're right. Continue.
But you can do kind of like, all right, the Continental Classic, right? You call it something else. You make some women's tournament like you did the tag team, but it's singles, and whoever wins earns the women's title match. And you can do it over a couple of months, and then that's how you get, their version of WrestleMania. That's how you get that main event. But Megan Bang, if you do some kind of tournament like that, because Tony loves his tournament, Megan Bang needs to win that, and that's how you can start that rivalry.
Well, it also comes down to is Megan Bang going to be focused on the tag division as part of the mega problems, and to your point, to Marina Shafir shape her own group of problems and become a force to be reckoned with in AEW. That's another match waiting to happen as well. Let's not forget, Marina Shafir and Chris Statlander, they had an immediate follow, and Chris Statlander decked Willa Yuta and told the Death Riders, fuck you, as John Moxley smiled on it when John Moxley said, don't ever let anyone tell you who you are or what you're worth. Again, the words of Jon Moxley. How much has Jon Moxley been a driving point for AEW this year, folks? I rest my case. Charles, you had your hand up. You got something to say real quick regarding what Walter was saying and Nick's ground?
Yeah, but also we do got a singles tournament that would determine the one contender. The women's Owen for All In.
That's true. And we all saw how that worked
You
out.
forget it. I feel like we're forgetting that's a thing for some reason in here tonight.
Because literally that was in May, and right now that's not Casino Gauntlet. That's just an annual tradition. But to your point, Mercedes Moné won that, and she lost to everyone's blessing, it sounded like. At AEW, of course, All In against Thomas Toy Storm. That was Mercedes Moné's first singles loss in her AEW career, by the way.
Yep.
And that's the next point about the Casino Gauntlet, which was in January in Columbus, Ohio at Maximum Carnage. It was Motley Crue, Tony Storm that returned home. And what happened at Grand Slam, Nick? Inside Cradle on the Glamour. Mariah May, Thomas Sawyer Storm became AEW Women's World Champion, and it led to the Hollywood ending, May people's AEW Women's Match of the Year.
Yes, but if you keep doing this, if you keep doing it, it's not going to be special anymore. Keep that match special. Keep it like you don't need to do it. You can do it once a year at All In, and it could be for a chance at again for the contract. You don't need to beat every stipulation over with a head. With just keep. There's some things, like blood and guts, that you keep special. This is one of those things. This match is one of those things. That you keep special.
Okay. Well, I mean, we only had 2 women's Casino Gauntlet matches this year, to be fair, All In and January. I don't think it necessarily diminishes it, but I do believe that there have been far more men's Casino Gauntlet matches this year, and I do think you're on point about that.
I just don't want to see them do something like the winner of this battle royal is the #1 contender, because they've been beating the devil over the years too. It's like that's why I want them to do something. Somebody's got to earn a #1 contendership somehow, whether you milk it over weeks or you do something.
That's fair.
Then you can do. Tony should have, in a perfect world, or the way I look at it, Tony should have 3 tournaments a year: the Owen, the Continental Classic, and then the Women's Continental Classic. The Women's Continental Classic could be the beginning of the year. That's how you get your Revolution pay-per-view, your Revolution opportunity, right? You don't need to have it for a belt. You don't need it. We don't need a Women's Continental Championship. We don't need it. I know that he's probably thinking about it, but we don't need it.
No. That's a bad Nick. Don't put that out in the ether. That's a bad Nick. For all we know, there's somebody in the AEW office that's listening to you right now.
I hope not.
Probably listening to this right now as we speak.
But yeah, like you can have a women's. He already said he wanted to do a Women's Continental tournament. So have that be for you can have that be for a world title shot at Revolution. The winner of the tournament gets a world title shot at Revolution.
All right. Well, I do like that idea, of course, because it does bring more eyes in the women's division, gives them more time, and it does give them more opportunity. But still, yes, Walter, I do see your hand.
Casino Gauntlet, we just saw it, right? It's in November every year, right?
Technically, no. That was a different Casino Gauntlet to crown the inaugural AEW Unified Champion. That was a one-off.
Oh, okay. So when is the Casino Gauntlet usually?
Whenever the hell he wants.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done 3 men and 2 women this year, I believe.
Well, don't make it a women. Just make it a regular gauntlet, right? And whoever wins 1 or 2. Don't announce that women are involved. And then when one of the numbers, after you compete, whoever's the first 2 or whatever, after a long string of matches, make it longer than maybe 12, 13 person. You make Megan Bain or one of these women come out, and then it's more believable. I know people be like, people are sexist and women can't beat men. But if this dude went through like 4 or 5 opponents in a row, and then somebody came out, woman or not, and they lose to them, then it's actually believable because that person went through so many matches that, yeah. And then you shock the world because you had a woman do it, and it wasn't announced as a woman's match. And then when the final 2 go, because what is it? Whoever gets the pin, then it's a one-on-one match. That's how it is, or something.
Casino Gauntlet, first pinfall submission, you win. Period.
You just win. Period. See, you have a woman do that, and then she declares she's going after the women's championship. Like, and then no one would see that coming because you didn't cater it to women. You just said it's a gauntlet match. So there's something completely different.
Yeah,
I
but
love.
then you're not at that point though. You're not showcasing. You're not showcasing women. What showcases? It's
But if you spend the whole year showcasing that women's title and women, and then that's why it meant so much that even a woman, had to throw themselves into the regular gauntlet because they want that championship because you made it such a priority throughout the year.
but then make the C2.
This is a very interesting debate for a different day on the state of AEW gimmick matches and championship opportunities earned versus given versus forced. But nonetheless, guys, I'm sure there'll be different changes in 2026. And unless you're trying to do something better than the Bound for Glory Call Your Shot Gauntlet in TNA, Walter, which was men and women, I'm sure that AEW can come with something more original that could not necessarily be so cut and dry on paper for women versus men, etc. But regardless, what they did this year with the Casino Gauntlets, particularly at All In, I thoroughly loved that. And we did see the women earn the opportunity. We saw what happened when they cashed in, and the rest is history. As far as I'm concerned, a Casino Gauntlet match, you only need it one time a year if it's for that particular purpose. Now, straight up for a championship match in the next pay-per-view, maybe doing it one other time as far as it's like 6 months out, etc. Maybe that's okay. But more than 2 a year for both men and women, that's where I draw the line. Because I'm pretty sure this year was the most Casino Gauntlet matches in AEW history in a single year. And I'm just going to leave it at that. We could talk all night about how you should do this, how you should do that, how many, blah, 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 who deserves it, how should be showcased, blah, 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 blah. But that's a whole different conversation for another day. Stay at the AEW address, how we book a given match. Stay tuned, folks. A simple Saturday shenanigans conversation to come in 2026. And that will be made official by me, if nobody else. Charles, I did see your hand before we move on to the Continental Classic semifinal number 2.
Besides, I was at least going to finish as this. Yeah, TK wants to do the women's one. He's probably going to do it at the same time frame as the men's. So there probably won't be a single. It's probably just going to be 2 tournaments at the same time, and the same semis and finals will be at World's End. So,
well, who knows how he changes it up next year. But again, hindsight's 2020. We introduced brand new AEW Women's Tag Team Championships. Good start. Again, bottom line though, don't need more championships. Watch how many tournaments, and don't do more than 4 Casino Gauntlets, 2 for the men, 2 for the women. Okay, great chat, everybody. And also, Chris Statler is where it's at right now. Damn it, she keeps the prize. Jamie Hayter's going to hit her hard, but Jamie Hayter, it's not your time. But you better prove Chris Statler and me something, damn it. Now, let's go ahead and move back into the Continental Classic. As again, the semifinals will culminate in our finals. So now it's time for y'all to complete your picture. Remember your prediction from earlier, because remember, the winner of Kyle Fletcher and John Moxley faces the winner of Kazuchika Okada and Kenothi Takeshita, Walter Guy's Christmas wish. And of course, that person will be the winner of this year's Continental Classic. Kazuchika Okada, reigning and defending champion, beach, versus reigning and defending IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Kenosuke Takeshita. Kenosuke Takeshita was near perfect in his block with a score of 13, while Kazuchika Okada was able to become the 2nd seed after beating Speed on Mike Bailey. Of course, Kyle Fletcher held the tiebreaker, beating Okada in the opening bout. Kazuchika Okada, of course, though, did go on last year to beat Ricochet and Will Ospreay to win the Continental Classic for the first time and match Mr. August Masahiro Chono for 5 round robin tournament wins. While Kenosuke Takeshita, he went on this year to win the G1 Climax and create unlimited history, one of a kind, probably never to be repeated if he wins not only the G1, but also the Continental Classic. And again, both these men next week are involved in Wrestle Kingdom in the Tokyo Dome, as Yota Tsuji will defend his gold and go after Yota Tsuji's gold in a title for title match. Bloody fucking hell. And Kazuchika Okada will close the book on Hiroshi Tanahashi's illustrious career in the main event at Wrestle Kingdom 20, the most jam-packed, sold-out Wrestle Kingdom in New Japan Pro Wrestling history. So forget about that momentum as well, considering what is following literally next weekend, guys. You might want to put that into your prediction as well. Walter, you have prayed for this match, so you will kick things off. Who is your finalist, and who is your overall winner for this year's Continental Classic? Good luck.
Who's the winner? I'm the fucking winner when this match happens. That's the winner.
Accurate.
We as fan are going to be the winner. But Sorry. I love Okada. I really do. I think he really is one of the greatest tournament wrestlers there ever is. But Takesha has fucking done too much and accomplished too much to this year. And I really, really think he's gonna do it. I think Takesha's gonna pass Okada, which technically means he lost his title when he wins when he loses this, because no matter what, we're guaranteed once he loses. So, but in terms of overall, I picked Takesha, but I wouldn't mind. I kept saying that this is the stepping stone from Kyle Fletcher. I kept saying it. Takesha has accomplished so much that you can have Fletcher surpass him, like win the tournament and use that as the launching pad, and it won't hurt Takesha too much. I think Takesha can take it, but I don't think he'll lose. I don't know. I'm so torn. I've been going back and forth with my head. I'm gonna pick Takesha for the overall, but it wouldn't surprise me, and I wouldn't be disappointed if Fletcher wins the overall tournament. Because, like I said, mark my words, 2026 is gonna be Fletcher's year. You're gonna see him with that damn title. But Takesha has accomplished so much this year, and he will be the first and only person to have won this, the C2, the IGWP, everything, the New Japan, everything in 1 year. Like, that's gonna be unprecedented, and I don't think that'll be one notch under his belt that no one can claim. So I think Takesha wins overall, but honestly, the fans are the ultimate winner of this shit. Like, AEW did this so perfect and did it right. Yeah, I begged for it to be the finals, but fuck it, give it to me early. Like, as long as I got it, I'm happier than the pig and shit with this match. I can tell you that. But
Damn, what an analogy. All right, so that being said, from the reliable one, he chose the Alpha. Let's go around the horn and get y'all's spots. Charles, you're up next. Again, to Walter's point, Kenosi Takeshita, he started off the year winning the Neverweight Championship, went on with the most defensive Neverweight Championship history, of course, one of the longest reigning Neverweight champions, won Roshazi's last match here in America, closing the book on 14 years of envy, won the G1 Climax, beat Sexy Jr. at King of Pro Wrestling without G1 Heavyweight Championship, successfully retained it against Hiroki Goto, and now he's on the verge of winning the Continental Classic, and all he's got to do to move one step closer to that is beat Kazuchika Okada in their first time ever one-on-one encounter. This has been teased ever since Okada says that this is temporary. Well, I think now we're truly going to see what temporary is, as Don Callis might be forced to make a choice. So what's your thoughts on the Continental Classic with this semifinals, and who's your overall winner?
First of all, we're going to get more than one match between Okada and Takeshita.
Oh, I believe it.
Which is probably why I'm going to play a factor here. Okada's going to win this whole damn thing.
Oh.
What we more better for Takeshita to take everything from Okada in the next match after this. With the whole unified title, completely. Yeah, if we were to win this, yeah, he took one, but Okada still has the other.
True that.
What be more fitting? Makes more sense. Take everything. So take the entirety of the unified title. So that's why I expect Okada to win this whole thing.
All right, then. So we got Kenosi Takeshita for the whole thing and this match. Kazuchika Okada for this match and the whole thing. I love this dynamic so far. Well, Nick, let's go ahead and get your thoughts, my friend. Right now, the poll has 66% in favor of the Alpha, while 30% is in favor of Okada, while Okada's only been beaten by literally a handful of men, Kyle Fletcher, Kevin Knight, and of course, Bryan Danielson. Lest we forget, he's virtually been unblemished in his AEW career. Still ran defending Continental Champion, might I add, the first title he won back in March 2023 against Eddie Kingston, the inaugural Continental Classic champion. So what do you guys say regarding this? Because if Okada loses, that is the end of the AEW Unified Championship as far as I'm concerned, because, of course, he has only been coming out bearing the AEW International Championship, the title, of course, that he took off of Kenny Omega. So who's your winner in this first number one encounter, and who's your overall winner in this year's Continental Classic?
They're doing more than one match. This is not a one and done. you've put too much stock in the story with Okada Takeshita, where you can't just have it for one match.
This is the chapter 1, in my opinion. We're finally getting chapter 1.
I think Okada wins this match. Okada wins the entire tournament. I think that with that win, it makes him past the because wasn't he tied for the most record tournament wins?
Yes, Masahiro Chono, Mr. August, with 5 round tournament wins. Shuchiko Okada joined that with 41 climaxes and his first Continental Classic last year. If he wins the Continental Classic this year, he will surpass Masahiro Chono.
Yeah, so I see Okada winning this match, winning the whole thing. He'll be the tournament winner. And I think we'll get kind of a page turn, and we'll get Takeshita being kicked out of the Don Callis family. I think he'll go back to Japan for a little bit and then come back just in time for Revolution. And we have match 2 of Revolution. I can't see this. You gotta milk. You have to milk this for all the money it's worth, and I don't think just doing one match does it justice.
Fair enough. As you look to make it rain even more than one time. All right. Well, Emmanuel, an interesting fight by Nick, considering Cardozo Casco was the first member of the Don Callis family before it was a family. Of course, Kyle Fletcher was the second member to join, as we know, betraying Will Ospreay at Wrestle Dream. And this has been Kyle Fletcher's year. But Kyle Fletcher has already beaten Kazuchika Okada twice in his illustrious career, including the opening match in this year's Continental Classic. He's never gone one-on-one with John Moxley, and I don't think he's never gone one-on-one with Konosuke Takeshita. That being said, there's also been a lot of debate about Konosuke Takeshita holding the IWGP Heavyweight Championship and not being involved in New Japan. If Konosuke was to lose here in that bout, I would imagine that would free him up. And imagine if Konosuke wins, by the way, folks, read the graphic. If Konosuke retains his title, he also wins the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship, currently held by Yota Tsuji. He will be a double champion in New Japan Pro Wrestling under AEW New Japan and DDT Pro contract. Jesus Christ almighty. So I'll also keep that in mind. That being said, Emmanuel, what you got to say regarding this? Who's your winner in this match, and who's your overall winner in the Continental Classic?
I have Takeshita winning this. Like, Okada cost Takeshita the match for Kyle Fletcher to win the tournament, in my opinion. And that way, you build the match for Wrestle Dream for New Japan, and because you need to have, like, right now they're like buddy, like there needs to be tension, like, and Okada, like Nick said, like, it's that close to overlapping and becoming the best, the overall best turning winner of all time. What if Takeshita is the reason why he couldn't get it? Because he could get that anytime he wants. Let's face that. It's about anytime, any place. It's just it takes that could wait a little bit longer, but that's my thoughts. They had to build up for Wrestle Dream, and the reason why they have more rivalry and more heated, like why Okada, why they screw me or for the title, and so on and so forth for the breakup to happen.
So you have Kazuchika Okada chasing history at any time, but you got Konosuke creating more history this year. You got Konosuke Takeshita winning overall.
I said Cal Fletcher's gonna win the tournament.
Oh, okay, but Konosuke wins
Okada,
the first encounter.
Yeah, and
All
then
right.
Okada costs Takeshita the match against.
Either way, Don Callis freaking wins in the end.
Yeah, I'm about to say, regardless, let's look at the Don Callis element here. Does Don Callis truly give a shit? You notice how Don Callis really hasn't been going against Okada, but he's been trying to hold off Konosuke. Does he think Okada is more valuable than Konosuke Takeshita when it comes to the Don Callis family? if Konosuke and Okada can't play ball. Because right now, he's been really trying to lobby these two to become the greatest tag team in professional wrestling. We called them against Brodito. They came this damn close, and then the miscommunication, everything fell the fuck apart. So, again, shit.
Do the
Go
same
ahead,
rules
Walter.
apply where, like, if anybody is involved, they get banned from AEW?
Yeah, that
Correct.
rule's still in
Because this ain't
effect.
the points anymore.
No, that rule is still.
That goes across the entire tournament. No matter what, every match is a pure one-on-one encounter. You have to win it, or you're disqualified. You're fucked.
Because I was gonna ask, who do you think Don Callis is gonna definitively pick? But obviously he can't show. Like, he's just gonna kiss whoever the ass of whoever wins, regardless.
That's fair. And Konosuke Takeshita was the one that brought out the hatred in Kyle Fletcher during Rampage when those two faced each other one-on-one. The only unique one-on-one that Kyle Fletcher has not really had yet is his damn semifinal against Jon Moxley. He's faced everybody else here, but he hasn't beaten Konosuke Takeshita, and he's beaten Okada twice. So does Okada finally get to beat the Protostar? Beach. Does Okada beat Konosuke and shut him up for now? Does Konosuke beat Okada? And Okada right now eats the biggest piece of humble pie he's ever eaten in his entire career since Tanahashi humbled him back in early Wrestle Kingdom days. There's so many different polarities here, but I gotta look at again. AEW. Who is the focus of AEW 2026? If it's not Kyle Fletcher, Konosuke Takeshita, what the fuck are we doing here? When this match was a fever dream for me more than Walter, considering my love for Japanese pro wrestling more than anything in America, damn it. And I finally got this now in AEW. You guys know I hold Kazuchika Okada up to another standard of a competitor, right? But Konosuke Takeshita, he's shown me more in 1 year than Okada's had in a long time since working more of a dirty Ric Flair style. But I also do wonder, is Konosuke stretching himself too damn thin? And is this the moment it finally catches up to him? Let's not forget, he lost to Bandito for the Ring of Honor World Championship. You arguably called that your match of the year, and that was in Philadelphia before this honor. How much does Konosuke need to accomplish truly for himself, where he may not be able to do everything he wants in this unified perspective? When does it all collapse? Does it collapse in the Continental Classic, or does it collapse at Wrestle Kingdom? I look at those two shows and look at cause and effect. And right now, I'm leaning towards, if AEW wants to push forward Konosuke as a babyface, and we're teasing the implosion of the Don Callis family, where right now Don Callis might literally go on Okada no matter what, then Konosuke needs to win this, turn it into Evolution, Triple H, hurrah, and I think Konosuke is the first guy to be kicked out, because I do think Don Callis sees more value in Okada. I really do. So I'm going to say right now that Konosuke right now is going to win this, and we are going to see Prachashita determine the Continental Classic. And as far as the winner goes, right now I'm going with Konosuke. I think he's Mr. AEW next year. If not him, Kyle Fletcher's number 2. But I think Konosuke loses at Wrestle Kingdom. I got Konosuke taking the whole thing.
Can Takeshita talk well enough to be that face though? Like, or is he gonna need a mouthpiece? Like, I've never really seen promos unless, you know what, fuck it, let him talk in Japanese and put
come on now.
Just let him do his thing. You don't have to force him. It's 2026 coming up. Like, you don't have to force English down everybody's throat. Let him be. You can make it work as a face and speak Japanese, but I mean, if you give him some kind of face mouthpiece, then that'd be fine too. But like, I don't know if he can be that golden boy face for you if they're gonna doubt him for talking. But this ain't the E. It's AEW. It's different. So maybe they'll take the risk. So I hope they do. But I cheer for both of them regardless. I don't give a damn if Okada ain't a heel to me. He's just a cheeky bastard, like you say.
Each. Well, I mean, I'm going to cheer for both regardless. These are two of my most favorite wrestlers right now in the wrestling business, and they're finally facing one-on-one for the first fucking time ever. And the bottom line, if Konosuke wins this, Okada officially loses the AEW Unified Championship, because he no longer has the Continental Championship. It no longer exists. Anyway, man, I do see your hand. What do you got to say here real quick? So pressure's on Okada more than anybody else here, period. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Just what Walter said. People, look at me. Looking into that. Breaking the fourth wall. 2026. Learn Japanese. learn Mexican, Spanish, learn Irish, learn
Iris.
whatever language it is. There's a free app teaching you the language. There's no longer an excuse. If other people, Japanese, Chinese, can learn English and
Oh my
and
gosh.
work hard on it, why can't an American be that dedicated and promising to learn their language? Stop being a lazy ass. Stop being a hypocrite. Stop saying, "Oh, because it's the USA, we need English to understand." No, it's time to learn English, to learn other language besides English.
Well, first off, in defense of those that may not have the time or may not have the patience, and also Okada has learned one word that all he needs to learn: beach. One, there is no language barrier to pro wrestling. We are defined and connected by the showcase, the passion, the presentation, and for me, the fucking fighting that you get in AEW. Two, I watch Japanese commentary and English commentary on New Japan Pro Wrestling all the time. So at the end of the day, if the one thing that is connected about this business is what you see inside that squared circle, get out the fucking fandom. Period.
I'm glad now because I get to see it now. But how the hell were both of these dudes in Japan at the same time and never crossed paths? Like, how the fuck did that even happen? Like,
DDT Pro in New Japan, dude. DDT Pro in New Japan.
still, you would think they'll come over in some passing and some, in the indies, something. But Charles got his hand up.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get Charles' thoughts here. And shout out to Warwick here letting his thoughts. Alpha wins because he wins both tournaments in a few months in the same year, or Mox wins because he beats Don's best talents. And again, it is Don Callis versus Death Friars at this point. John Moxley, the last bullet standing. Charles, you got fun to say real quick? Go ahead. This is so much fun.
Yeah, yes, it is. And also, man, you forgot another country there or language, France.
That being said, we're not going back down that road again. Thank you, Charles. My bottom line, though, I love the fact we all have a different dynamic here, and no matter what, all four men are justified to be in this spot, and any of these four men, not a single babyface, by the way, just incredibly driven in-ring competitors. All four of these men could win Saturday, the Continental Classic, and we get to call it. So again, to John Moxley, Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Kenoda Takeshita, may the best wrestler win. As far as the poll goes, it's actually quite dynamic as far as who they think the overall winner is going to be. The majority at 45% are going with the Alpha, Konosuke Takeshita. It is literally tied between Kyle Fletcher and Kazuchika Okada in second place at 51% between the two, 25.9% each. Why there is one person that did pick John Moxley. So it almost sounds like John Moxley, in many people's eyes, is being written off due to the lingering damage and injury to his leg. How effective is a one-legged man in asking contest, even if his name is John Moxley? Let alone he has survived Kyle Fletcher before dealing with either, might I add, for the first time ever one-on-one, Kazuchika Okada. They've never faced each other, or a man that beat him in this year's Continental Classic, Konosuke Takeshita. Just freaking saying. Emmanuel, do you have your hand up? What you got to say real quick?
Man, this is the third time that one person has picked the odds. Who's this person, though? I need to know.
I, as a simple man who believes in identity protection and FERPA standards, I do not disclose names of those that pick because I know people like to criticize those that do not agree with them for the stupidest damn reasons. Thank you. That being said, support one another, respect each other. The bottom line, though, whatever your final is going to be, we are across the board here between Okada and Konosuke. Kyle Fletcher's the future. John Moxley, your time might have come. But again, good luck to all four in the Continental Classic. This tournament is going to be fucking nuts.
I'm sorry. Overall, how many people went with Moxley to win the whole thing, you said?
One.
All right.
Out of 27.
All right.
Charles, I did see your hand before we move on to the actual, what I think is going to be the main event. What do you got to say real quick?
You know what? We're saying, it could be Okada or Teshka or Kyle. Watch it. They might just pull a troll and just have Mox win the whole thing. Just to spite us.
Well, one, it could spite us. Two, it could also tell us to shut the fuck up about John Moxley. I've been saying that for a long time as well. But again, you look towards the future, John Moxley is trying to dictate the future or define it. And Kyle Fletcher right now is the biggest first challenger for it, if not Konosuke. And again, John Moxley and Okada have never faced each other. How's that for a crazy or what the fuck, considering they're both in AEW? They've never faced each other one-on-one, period. And again, folks, next week, it's Okada and Tanahashi in the main event of Wrestle Kingdom 20 and Konosuke and Yosuji in the semi-main event next weekend in the Tokyo Dome. 50,000 capacity. Good grief almighty. Okay, that being said, we're here talking about Mox and Okada because we never got it, and AEW loves their first, so we'll see what happens. Well, incredible talk, chat, defining what ifs, logic, non-logical, illogical, fantasy booking aside, guys. You've had a lot of unique positive predictions, but let's go ahead and get right into what I believe will be our main event, where we see who will lead AEW as the AEW Men's World Champion. And Nick, I do see your hand. You will go first. We have Samoa Joe defending the gold against Heyman Adam Page. Of course, Heyman Adam Page was at the victimizing of the Ops and Hook, who was basically a thief in the night the whole time, faced Samoa Joe's manipulation. Swerve Strickland, Heyman Adam Page's most dangerous rival and ally, Joker the Batman, and returning back to where it all ended to looking to begin it all again, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF. Oh, the interwovens of all four of these men is absolutely insane, especially across all elite wrestling. Samoa Joe, now two-time AEW Men's World Champion. Heyman Adam Page, previous AEW two-time Men's World Champion. Swerve Strickland, the undoing of Samoa Joe at Dynasty last year. And MJF, of course, who lost the title to Samoa Joe at World's End in 2023 in Long Island, New York, when MJF's body was absolutely destroyed beyond all belief. Better human being, better competitor, smarter, most dangerous wrestler, who leads with the gold at World's End, heads to 2026 to face Bandito, by the way, in their first defense of the AEW Men's World Championship. Nick, I will start with you. Who leads with the gold at World's End before the new year begins? Do you have a new World Champion, and is it MJF? You're muted.
I'm muted. Okay. So, two things.
Go for it.
Two things.
Go for it.
One, MJF is winning. Y'all have heard me ad nauseum talk about this. It's MJF's championship. Now, Noah, if you may humor me for a second. Can you put up the entire match, the entire card list graphic?
Yeah, I can definitely do that here in a little bit. Why do you want me to do the entire matches though again?
Because I am putting my tinfoil cap on. We are getting a match that has not been announced yet.
What?
And it will be announced on the 0 hour.
On the 0
I
hour.
believe we remember on Dynamite. Pretty sure it was Dynamite. We saw the Elite come out of the dressing room. What did Kenny Omega say?
He said he had to go take care of something that he should have taken care of a long time ago.
I'm putting my tinfoil cap on. If I'm correct, I think we only have, how many matches do we have on the main card?
9.
I think, and we only have 1 0 hour.
Yes, last I checked.
I think Kenny is coming out on the 0 hour, and he will call out Andrade El Idolo, and we will get
what?
Kenny versus Andrade at this show.
Oh, Jesus.
The last time we saw Andrade, he jumped Kenny. And we never got a resolution about that because of Andrade's thing.
Right.
Non-compete.
Right.
That has effectively been eliminated. He is a free agent. He is allowed to sign anywhere. The lawyers have fixed it.
Damn.
Kenny said what other business does Kenny have? Unfinished business does Kenny have that he has to worry about?
I got nothing.
There is nothing. So I think, and it's odd how we only have 9 matches. I think Kenny comes out just before the show starts or somewhere in the pre-show, and he calls out Andrade. We've seen Andrade in House of Glory. He's gonna be in New Japan next weekend. You know, talking about I think it was the media scrum, Tony was asked about Andrade, and he spoke nothing but great things about Andrade. I can see them adding a 10th match and having Andrade show up.
All right. Well, it definitely would be a wild situation, but looking at the business at hand, considering you might literally have added a 10th match here that, again, is pretty worthy, but still, that would be extremely short notice. But what a surprise for the fans of Chicago, to say the least. What do you guys see regarding this fatal four with MJF?
Oh, yeah, MJF winning. There's no denying it. Again, I've said it repeatedly. It's just the natural progression of what we've seen over the past year. I know everybody's heard me say that, but it is true. MJF is winning this title. He is walking into next year the World Heavyweight Champion, and hopefully, fingers crossed, a certain assassin is recuperating and rehabilitating, and hopefully, come the Owen, we get us a mystery entrant.
But yeah, wild card.
A wild card, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I see MJF winning.
All right, fair enough. And I guess it just comes down to now, let's see who agrees with you or disagrees with you and what storyline it leads to. Again, Swerve Strickland has never met MJF in the ring. Shane Strickland met MJF one time in singles action outside the ring back in 2018 on the Independence before he went to WWE. We all saw what happened there.
Sorry, I just want to, there's a chat about Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny versus Andrade. That can't happen. That cannot happen because we know Andrade is the financial backer of the United Empire, and he will be in that 10-man tag match.
That is correct. They're not going to have him work double time that same night. Again, folks, next year Wrestle Kingdom is exclusively January 4th. There is no Wrestle Dynasty. January 5th will be New Year's Dash, the most unpredictable night of New Japan Pro Wrestling's calendar year that sets up 2026, and you're very well not having United Empire part of it.
It'd be interesting. Nick, you said MJF is one. It'd be interesting because, man, Bandito.
Well, Walter, you're on the bubble next, so go ahead.
Bandito just won the Dynamite Diamond Ring. That means MJF Bandito, because he's gonna get a title shot. Like,
correct, at Maximum Carnage.
Awesome match. Yeah.
And Bandito. And keep in mind, Bandito is a babyface. He does not need the ring. MJF's whole persona is the ring. So MJF needs to get the ring back.
Technically, MJF still has the ring. He has the original ring. They just gave Bandito a different ring, I think.
We won 2, didn't MJF win twice, though? Didn't he win 2 of those rings?
He's
MJF has won every year.
Yeah.
The same ring.
Bandito's the first person to be called the Dynamite champ besides MJF,
But you can play that off, Noah, to your point. You can play that off like what the E did with John Cena when he won the fake WWE Championship against Rey Mysterio, and then you had Punk come out with the real. So, yeah.
Destroy the ring and defeat MJF.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, I know that. Like, now you're making me regret my pick. I think Samoa Joe might retain.
Really?
I think, yeah. I know it's the least likely thing, but by hook or by crook, remember, there's no disqualification. This dude's got an entire ops following him. It's a 4-way match. That means there's no countouts, there's no DQ. Like, he's got ops that can go in and out of this match, distract people. But I don't think Swerve just came back, so I don't think you immediately grant him for the title.
Let him
That's why I
finish.
don't go with Swerve. Although Swerve, it would make sense that I would love it. He had one of the best reigns. And these three of them, Joe, MJF, and Swerve are so intertwined because they were the three back-to-back champions. Like they all won the titles off of each other. So
That's
like,
correct.
yeah. So it's interesting, and I think Hangman just had the title. I really think Hangman's there. You always say it in a fatal four-way in a triple threat. Someone's the fall guy. I really think Hangman's just the fall guy. He's either gonna be the one to get pinned or tap out. Like as much as I hate to say it, but I think that's why he's involved in it. Like,
All
look, see,
right.
Chris thinks Adam Page is gonna look, but I think Samoa Joe, because he said his career is winding down. I think they might do without officially announcing his retirement. Want to give him like a good run to send him off with. That's the only really thing that I think that's why he's retaining. To have a few months with the title and then lose it if somehow MJF can earn another title shot 1-on-1. And plus, I just don't see Bandito winning, and he got the ring, so Samoa Joe will probably choke the hell out of Bandito, even though I don't want to see him lose like that. But
I would.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind Bandito versus Joe either, because you do that 21 thing and Joe reverses it into a muscle buster or his sleep concreto collection or whatever it's called.
Cooking up.
That like it fits the way they could do it. So I would like to see Samoa Joe retain, but I mean you can't go wrong with it. The only way to me that you go wrong is if you give the title right back to Hangman. So the other three I would be happy with.
All right, fair enough. So we got Samoa Joe and we got an MJF. And Nick has just been biting his thumb like now thinking about something different, but we haven't heard from Charles Emmanuel. So go ahead and give a quick fun. Let's go ahead and let the other people speak. All right. Well,
Go ahead,
don't know
Nick.
what
He's giving you the chance to whatever you was raising your hand about. He's still there. He's not frozen.
Okay. I got another thing that you have to keep in mind.
Just add more fuel to Charles Emmanuel's
I'm
thoughts.
gonna add more fuel. Did they ever pay off the MJF run-in MLW, and did they ever pay off the backstage segment that MJF had with Hammerstone at MLW, saying that they needed to recreate the dynasty?
Richard Holiday, MJF, Alex Hammerstone, their callbacks are there. That's a very fair point. And no, there was no follow-up to that. But it's also, we also know as well, freaking how factions work with MJF, as Swerve Strickland talked about the Pinnacle. How well are those people doing? So yeah. All right. Interesting food for thought, though, because maybe there is more than one faction showing up here in AEW. Maybe there are more surprises than we think. Wink, wink. All right. Let's go now to Emmanuel, who's been sitting quietly here, and see if he engages a trap card. Does he have a spell card for success or something else that goes beyond anyone else's opinions? Emmanuel, you're on the docket. We got an MJF. We got Samoa Joe. We got possibly a faction being built. We got ops people getting involved here, including Ops Dojo. But it sounds like, regardless, we have possibly a brand new AEW Men's World Champion. Is him and Adam Page a non-factor? Is he nothing more but a means to an end at World's End? And do we set up something more for Strickland in a different, dangerous foe? What do you guys say regarding this match?
There's two things I was telling you before we got into the air, Noah. Number one, NoDQ.com. If you haven't seen them, subscribe to them on Facebook and their page. They're a great wrestling plug wrestling attorney.
And shout out to Boss Man Riff. He's good, dude.
Anyways, he reported that MJF is the heavy favorite for him winning the title, which means two things. He's going to lose it, and he's going to get screwed. And Samoa Joe is going to retain his title. And there's a storyline that had yet to build for Nick. And the storyline, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, who kicked him out of the Hurt Syndicate. I don't think they're helping. Why would they kick him out just to bring him back in?
Why did Hook help Samoa Joe? Why did Hook willingly pass blood with Hook willingly pass out Samoa Joe and then went to Full Gear to get the title and screw Hangman? Just saying. A fix could be in and we may not even know it.
Yeah. But anyways, I think Joe's going to retain. It'll be like a slap to the face to Samoa Joe. No offense. It'll be the first time in AEW history that a world champion has lost his title in less than a month. I believe.
Okay.
And AEW is not that type of business. They tend to have long storyline, like a couple of months until they lose it, or a full year until they lose it, sort of deal. So it'd be a good twist if they do, if MJF does ultimately win it, because everybody's thinking he's going to win it, but it'd be a nice swerve, no pun intended.
Nah.
I think Joe's first was it was over 100 days. I think 113 days his first reign was.
Correct.
Yeah. So for me, like, if this is his last year, like, give him a long time run, and like, don't slap Samoa Joe legacy in the face for having a short reign, just because MJF just killed in a promo that he came and dissed everybody. It's the same MJF. It didn't impress me. I didn't care for it, but I understand it because it's MJF. He never fails in the promo, and it's something that we already heard.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of that was basically rinse and repeat, except for the Swerve Strickland P. Diddy drop, and then freaking Swerve threw it back at him like a freaking fireball in the Hammerstein ballroom and basically called him a bigger Diddy than himself. Damn. And it is one of those things where at the end of the day, I look at what has happened and what hasn't happened, Charles. Swerve and MJF hasn't happened yet in AEW. Swerve was Samoa Joe's undoing. Heyman and MJF have been tied to this title since day one of AEW. Double or Nothing 2019, May 25th, might I add. And of course, Heyman beat MJF not once, but twice this calendar year already. So, Charles, what you got to say regarding this World Championship match? And thank you for that thought, Emmanuel. We got 2 Samoa Joe retainments and 1 MJF gain. No picks for Swerve. No picks for Heyman and Page. And ironically enough, have you heard this trope before? One person picked Heyman and Page. One person picked Swerve Strickland. 63% went with MJF, while the remainder of the poll and about 30% went with Samoa Joe retaining. Charles, close this thing out. What do you got to say regarding the AEW Men's World Championship? Because for me, I look at the fact that Samoa Joe bumped into this man in Brooklyn, where he was nothing but a security guard for WWE. World's End 2023, Samoa Joe was MJF's undoing. MJF and Swerve have not had a program yet. And Heyman has already been MJF's undoing twice as he looks to put Seabiscuit down at the glue factory and may not even have to pin him, but hurt him where it hurts the most. Because regardless, in a fair 4-way, there will be no excuses. He's involved. Everyone's involved. And you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, Charles, what you got to say? Because personally, for me, I got MJF winning the title.
Well, Walter and Manny are going to be on an island on their own. Which I don't know. That's a probably good day because I don't know. It's probably a good day for Walter because man will probably throw every freaking curveball at him,
right?
Just to make Walter get confused every freaking like a minute. But I expect MJF to win this. I am also on the train of MJF holding that damn world title until All In, where he loses to Ospreay. But I also feel this point: Heyman's not going to get pinned enough. It's going to be Samoa Joe.
There you go.
Samoa Joe took the title from MJF at this very event. What would be more fitting? MJF takes it from him. And then probably because of Swerve hitting the Swerve stomp on Joe, and then Swerve gets thrown out of the ring by MJF, and MJF steals the pin.
It's like a thief in the night.
And
Literally.
if MJF doesn't win, you run the risk of him looking like an idiot because why would you cash your opportunity in the middle of a triple threat, making it a 4-way? It kind of like he kind of has to win, otherwise it makes him look stupid.
Well, he might as well just rip up his AEW contract and stay in Hollywood because literally, why you came back just to literally forfeit your last guaranteed shot for the AEW Men's World Championship. Not to mention, I want to see him finally pick up unfinished business with Bob the Lash. Remember the last thing we heard? When you get that title, it's not going to be business. It's going to be personal.
Well, Lash is kind of
Bandito
it.
versus MJF because you know Bandito's next.
Yep.
And also, MJF's going to get the ring back, but also Bob Lash is kind of hurt right now. So, we're going to see Lashley for a while. For how long, we don't know.
Fair enough.
That kind of shuts that up.
MJF does deserve a run without injury, without everything he was going through. This man had AEW on his back on his first run, and they literally ran this man into the ground.
For real.
So that's why I expect all this. But if they can't do Lash, they couldn't do. When they can't do Lash, it doesn't mean they can't do Shelton, though. It will still be the same story.
True, but
Still
also,
part of it.
like I said, I think Swerve Strickland, especially after that scathing promo he gave to the capacity of MJF, I think that's MJF's next big program in 2026. I think Swerve and MJF are going to carry AEW. As much as keyword I heard from Swerve Strickland, anyone I'm in the ring with, I make them better. Now, one person that says he's better than you know it, I think you just literally wrote the book yourself. Either way, I got MJF winning the title. Emmanuel, I do see your hand up real quick. What you got to say?
Is that a prediction? Because everybody's picking who's the fall guy. Like, if that's the point, but I'm about to say if I had to pick a point, like I had to go with the all man out, Swerve. Like, is the less likely of everybody's picking Page right now? Swerve. Why can't Swerve take the pin?
I mean, to be fair, I mean, he said
I think
Joe. Yeah, he picked Joe, and he picked Joe via pinfall, not submission. Because can you imagine MJF finding a way to hook, line, and sink Samoa Joe in a submission hold?
You can't have Swerve
take bloody.
You can't have Swerve taking the pin because he just came back.
That too. Remember, he came back at full gear. So at the end of the day, it makes sense for Heyman and Page to be the fall guy or Samoa Joe to be the fall guy, considering the long-term history. And they also were around the whole year last year.
If win, it's going to be a sneaky pin off somebody else's finisher. It's not going to be
when he
did it. Yeah.
No, you know what? I don't think it will be sneaky. You have to remember what MJF said to Hangman. I think MJF is pinning Hangman. Don't get me wrong, but it's what MJF said to Hangman. I'm gonna beat you and your two rivals to make all your fans shut up.
Almost swoop.
And I think that's what he's gonna do. And I mean, if our prediction is not even enough, Wrestling 101 tells us the people that are standing tall before the pay-per-view are not winning this match. And what did we see on Dynamite?
Swerve and Hangman.
Choking out who?
MJF.
Yeah, but Joe wasn't even involved. He was just sending the apps and said that was a tease or whatever he said.
Well, he also was trying to dictate the idea of all this hatred might not be necessarily stood towards him. And yes, he was. At the end of the day, also, guys, we got to look at the match for what it is. We got 4 vigilantes, villains, dangerous, manipulative individuals here in this match. AEW has truly blurred the lines between babyface and heel, and it really has worked to their advantage here, where all 4 of these men are justified. But if it's not MJF, I don't know what the fuck we are doing after what MJF decided to do in freaking Holiday Bash, cashing in that contract. It's got to be him.
At some point, all 4 of these men have literally carried the company on their back. Because if you think about Heyman, he carried the kind of like the pandemic era. Yeah, sorry for his first title run. Sorry. Joe, MJF was seriously carrying everything on his back until he got hurt. Joe had to carry the company because there was literally nobody else because MJF was hurt, so they gave it to Joe. And then when Swerve won it, this dude was involved in every kind of fucking match you can think of. He literally had the company on his back. It was like these are the 4 pillars that carried AEW at one point in time.
Yeah. And I mean, look who, if you kind of even too, if you read between the lines, look who the person's first opponent is coming out of this match. It'd be Bandito, right?
That's
Mm-hmm.
correct.
Out of all these people in this match, who was the most recent person to face a luchador?
I think it would be MJF because he took on Mystico and tapped out to him in Mexico when he lost the CML Men's World Championship.
Ding 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 ding. What if we get an MJF versus Mystico match?
Run it back. I'm sure they'll do another Grand Slam Mexico, and this time they won't do a crazy multi-person exhibition for every bout. I could definitely see that happening. Plus, Bandito and MJF have never faced each one-on-one. The only time they encountered one another, just barely for a little bit, was during the Casino Gauntlet at All In.
Sorry, guys. It's MJF's to lose. Anybody but MJF winning this is the wrong decision.
Fair
Like
enough.
I said, it does make him look stupid because why did you? It would have been smarter if he said, "I'm doing this match. I'm cashing in the contract. I'm giving you a week's notice, but I'm not being involved in this triple threat. As soon as it's over, then whoever wins is gonna have to face me one-on-one." He would have been a smarter heel to do it that way.
And he would have done the first Dynamite of the new year because, of course, he would have given them a 1 week notice. Then the winner of that would have faced Bandito at Maximum Carnage, which was in the middle of January. But MJF, if there's one thing you can say about our favorite scumbag, he always seems to have a plan, and the devil is here to collect. And I think Saturday, he's going to do it. Regardless, that is AEW World's End, folks. So again, who you think carries the Golden Final 26? Who wins the Continental Classic? Who is the strongest worthy competitor of the AEW Women's Division to hold the AEW Women's World Championship? And does Maxwell Jacob Freeman New World begin at World's End at the expense of Samoa Joe or his greatest rival at Heyman Adam Page, or a rival yet to be faced in AEW in Swerve Strickland? We'd love to know your thoughts, of course, in the comments down below or in the chat as I look at some of the comments here. Blind guessing. I hate not picking a Heyman, but pick's a pick. Let's freaking go. Heel turn, face turn, maybe. Fuck the Fed. All right, who said that? Come on, let's not be tribalistic. Cope and Christian may show up. You gotta pick. No, shut the fuck up, JJ. And can't wait.
When is the Canadian tour?
That's in April, of course, as AEW Dynasty will be in Vancouver, Canada.
So I don't think Copeland and Christian have to come back until like February, which will give you 2 months to build that up. But that's why I think FTR. I think that's who's winning the tag titles when FTR loses. It's gonna be the whole reason they won the titles was for that to happen. Was for Copeland and Christian to come back. So I think when it's closer to the Canadian tour, that's when they'll come back.
I'm calling it now at 12:45 on December 20 whatever 26th.
27. Botch.
At Dynasty, it will be FTR versus Cope and Christian versus the Matriarchy in a TLC match, or whatever version of AEW's TLC match will be.
Table Hours and Shares. They're sensible enough to call it that TLC.
Metal Mayhem.
No, it's TNA, all right, or what TNA used to be. The jury is out whether TNA is becoming T-Mood WWE NXT. But anyway, and also someone says Switchblade Jay White returns to help Bang Bang Game win. Well, someone's holding out for it. Bang Bang Game.
Wood, metal, and steel match, they'll call it. The three things that they're made out of.
Wood, metal, and steel.
That's to Walter's point. Why instead of February? Because I'll be the road to Revolution. Might as well have it be at Revolution itself when the Cope and Christian return. That makes more sense. March makes more sense than February. Otherwise, you're doing the match at Revolution, which is not the point. It should not be at Revolution. No disrespect to Revolution.
He's got you there, bro. All right. Well, that being said, folks, a lot of food for thought as, of course, we look towards Worlds. And again, stay tuned. Me and Walter will be on the call. And, of course, we'll be going into Saturday shenanigans following that, giving our outlook towards Worlds End before the new year begins. And thank you all so much for tuning in. Well, Walter, you got something to say real quick?
I bet brood baths and shit are going to come back. Start teasing it. Like, start messing with the FTR.
Brood.
Like the blood baths and shit. Start teasing that and then bring them finally back. And at Revolution, like that's when they should come back. or like weeks before that, like on Dynamite Collision, you keep messing with FTR. They have promos in there, lights come out, like stuff starts messing with them, and then like a week before Revolution, have a bloodbath happen to them, and it's like almost like oh shit, Christian and Adam Copeland are coming back. Like
Well, I
that's
mean,
why I
But
feel like they should do it.
Gangrel has shown up before, so I mean, again, and after you literally put your hands on Adam Copeland's wife, you basically cross a line of no return. We saw that worked out for Malachi Black. I'm just saying.
but you have to then you have to tie in. You got to remember you have to also tie in Nick Wayne into all of this because remember he couldn't. Nick Wayne was supposed to be at All Out, but because of his injury, he couldn't be in that match. So Christian Cage has never had his comeuppance against
True
Nick
that.
Wayne.
True that.
So you have to add Nick Wayne in the matriarchy in this somehow.
It's a fair point. And again, we'll see what happens. I mean, hell, if they do show up at World's End, there's your sub program in the Revolution. Boom. That's how you freaking push it out. But that being said, guys, we got to get to 2026 first. But before then, we got to get through the rest of 2025. And World's End is now less than 24 hours. Hell, it's less than 24 hours away. So again,
Our
folks,
prediction was almost as long as an AEW pay-per-view.
not really. 2 hours. You guys always push me in the 2.5 hour, 3
Well,
hour
Walter, that will be as long as like WrestleMania 32 was.
mark.
Let's not go that far.
WrestleMania 35, I think, is what you're talking about. And also, yeah,
It was longer.
I'm about to say, let's not go that far either, all right? At least these aren't as long as the WrestleManias. If they were, at least they got more matches of quality. But anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you for our coverage at World's End. Let's go ahead and get the fuck out here and get some rest before we have to cover this thing. Charles, again, always a pleasure. Go ahead and tell where the people can find you on the Yes, because I know your plug is extremely simple.
Yes, it is. Do Talk Random on Twitter. There you go.
There you go, folks. And again, you can find him gaming and finding him fighting people in the streets as a turtle, avoiding falling down. Thank you so much.
There it is. There it is.
You can never
I
avoid
didn't
it.
say
He's
what?
always in the manhole.
You're the one that
Hey,
said it.
Walter.
I didn't have to say it. Thanks, Walter. That being said, Nick, always a pleasure, my friend. I don't know if we'll see you on the World's End call based on whether or not you get the pay-per-view, and of course you have the time. But again, I look forward to your after thoughts as well. And always a pleasure engaging with you on your outlook on wrestling. So go ahead with it so the people can find you and get their order from you too.
I don't know if I'm gonna be on the call. I might be. I don't know yet.
Okay.
But you can find me. Actually, yeah. Don't follow me on X. Following people is creepy. But you can, however, if JJ and James and everybody is watching this, I gotta plug our new show coming in 2026. It's called Smut on the Spectrum. It's a great show that we're debuting in the new year. If you guys want to know all about it, ask James about it. Remember, it's Smut on the Spectrum.
Thank you for that, and I will be sure to blacklist that content. That being said,
Well, I got a message, James, tonight. Thanks, Nick.
bloody hell. Thank you, Nick, and shout out to Mrs. Ferrantes as well. Always appreciate you both. Emmanuel, always a pleasure. Good luck, by the way, to everybody, by the way, in the conclusion of this year's All Elite League for 2025. Don't worry, I will be doing it again next year, I assure you. But Emmanuel, go ahead and tell where the people can find you. And yes, I'll update your graphic next year too.
That's okay. That's okay. You can follow me on Facebook and Emmanuel Mingus, Instagram EDM7324. You can follow my sister, Arlene Dominguez, at Facebook. Arlene Dominguez at Instagram and ADM73244. And please subscribe to Interactive Games and Movies. If you haven't yet subscribed, we're sixth. Like, I have 6 subscribers, 4 more, and I can be in double digits. That's a milestone. every subscriber matters. And leave a like, leave a message. Like, you think it doesn't work, but it does work. Like, I'll notify other people to see the channel and help them. If you have a movie suggestion, please leave a message. And because I did a watch along to Friday the 13th Part 2. So if you have a movie suggestion you want to see along with me on Sunday, just leave a message and we will see that movie.
All right. Well, good stuff.
I like how.
Revealing. What, Charles?
Like how we had that. Noah just have his head to the side, like Hi, I'm here. You just can't see my face, but you can't see my body, but you see my head. I'm here.
And put my best Tony Khan and freaking impromptu promotion impression. And again, I do want to see his channel thrive. We also got to figure out how to do some games with you too, like maybe a game of life or a Lego party or something like that on the Switch or PlayStation.
Join us, because we're gonna game
Oh,
hard in
yeah.
2026.
Oh yeah, that's one thing. Up on the X, like I bought the 2K25 for cheap for $20, just the regular game. If you want to beat, you want to see, and you could book better than the Triple H, you had your opportunity. Say, I want to be a GM mode and I want to compete against you. So
I can't do my GM mode because that means I have to book WWE superstars. Ugh.
Well.
Hey,
unless you
so
get a
you'd
lot
be
of like,
booking better.
well, unless you get a lot of OC creative people, AEW roster on CC, and then you can do a whole custom roster where you try to do WWE superstars.
Yeah.
Well, if AEW
sounds-
makes a
Isn't
better
they not?
game next year,
I don't know, man. That's not my forte. But thank you, Emmanuel, and all the best in that continued YouTube content creating adventure. Well, again, Walter, we are in for one hell of a night once again. It comes Saturday night. Let's go ahead and tell the people can find you.
at on Instagram it is at it's Walter.Cruz.940. On the X it's Walter Alex Cruz, and of course Rage of Wrestling for all this kind of content. The gaming is really revving up. In 2026, I am gonna start. I bought Ninja Gator. I have not touched it because I'm going to do a live stream for every stage, every moment. You will see it completely unedited. You are gonna see my frustration, dying 3,000 times, everything.
Oh,
You
Lord.
can give me guides, tell me what the hell to do to get off a certain stage. So this is gonna be completely live until I beat this
I
game.
can't help you with
Who
that one,
knows how
Walter.
long this is gonna be?
Someone make
But
sure that they have plenty of blood pressure medicine on standby at 911 for
I'm
this,
gonna
man.
pick a specific day that works, that doesn't interfere with a bunch of other stuff we do. So I'm trying to, like, my days off on Wednesday and Thursday, but that's Dynamite and TNA. So it's gonna be hard to do it being 3 hours behind everybody else. But
Just do it Tuesday.
I'm gonna try to make it. I work Tuesdays.
Oh,
Can't
fair
game
enough.
and work.
Okay, fair enough.
I see why Noah said that.
I'm a
Yeah, it
mega.
was Tuesday.
I'm a mega multitasker, but I literally can't game and work because then I'd be too distracted and won't get work done.
I mean, I played Hades while working on freaking calls for my job. It's super easy. You just turn the chair like that, you just be like, oh, there's no call. Okay, let me continue this stage.
But my game,
Fuck you, Hades.
my gaming system is in the living room. My computer's in the office.
Oh, see, I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
All right, and goes to Yota right now so I can find my life because again, power to the soloists. Anyway,
Yeah, my office has the Super Nintendo, the Sega Genesis, the PlayStation, and the original Nintendo. But
so
new
stay
stuff
tuned,
is all
folks,
in the
because
living
some
room.
point Lily's gonna challenge me to Wheel of Fortune rematch, and we're gonna play Mario Party, Lego Party, and all sorts of other crazy stuff. I'm sure here at Simulable Gaming.
Oh
Date and
man!
times to be
And my
determined.
son got that camera for the Switch too, where you can actually see people as you play them now. So
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Well, I don't got to Switch too. I'm not made of money. I'm frugal. You know that. But again, we will level up. Credits will be involved that you actually insert, and we will continue the content if you encourage us to as well for Sleepy Reliable Gaming. Stay tuned for more on that in the new year to come.
Well,
Thank you so much,
if
Walter.
anything, for the Switch One, I have a capture card, so we can still game on.
Yeah,
Switch.
Elgato, I got you. Again, I don't do that type of stuff. I just play games and kick y'all's asses.
We
All
can
right,
at least have a
thank y'all so
Mario
much.
Party and go live if you have it, Jamboree.
I have it.
Yeah, see, we can go live with my capture card. You know how I know how to make it so that we can still play the Switch live.
Figure out a time and day after tomorrow, and maybe we'll do it Sunday. All right, we'll see. Thank you so much for that. Good grief almighty. Okay, with that being said, folks, you want to engage with me, thank you all for tuning in. Once again, I am the Simple Man. Find me if you choose in Foster 1916 on the YouTube and on X, for I am truly nothing more but a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it! Only wish to remind you and encourage you on the winners, no losers, no betters, just fans no opinions with this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families, just enjoy life, and enjoy professional wrestling. It's truly as simple as that. Again, you will find the prediction form in the comments down below on my social medias and on NoDQ social medias as well. Shout out to 27 of you so far. Again, if you are in the predictions league, be sure to submit your predictions as well. Otherwise, you guys' thoughts are null and void because that's the way I run things here. Strictly business. Again, though, shout out to 27 of you so far. Everyone else has till 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time Saturday night to make them final. As, of course, we will kick off with our coverage with the 0 hour. As we have, of course, the Sisters of Sin taking on High-End and Maya World before we get into the main aspect of things, including the Continental Classic. But until then, thank you all so much for tuning into the Final City predicting, by the way, of 2025. And thank everybody that's taking part in at least one of them, if not multiple of them, if not all of them, if you're that fucking crazy. But I appreciate you regardless for what's been a phenomenal year of professional wrestling, delight, chat, and a good time. Hope you all enjoyed it as well. Please subscribe, comment, tell a friend, hit the bell so goes live on demand on any of the channels here on the Super Level Studios family. Hit the subscribe button. I'm sure you create content, the crazy procrastination and off-topic conversation still about company dynamics, and the madness that I endure moderating these for every big show under the sun, including the ones that I'm like mid about. It's not going to let up anytime soon, I'm assure you. We're going to do another one next week. Me and our Canadian friend Ash. It will be a city predicting expedition on Wrestle Kingdom 20. So please stay tuned for more on that. And of course, all are welcome to join that as well. But until World's End, I think now we'll finally bid you all farewell and give you some rest. It's 1 a.m. on the East Coast, and soon enough, these yahoos are going to be asleep on the West Coast, I would hope. So for Charles Schultz, for Mr. Reliable Walter Cruz, for Emmanuel Dominguez, for Nicholas Ferrantes, and the unique content that's going to be blacklisted sooner than expected, probably. For all of you in the chat that were involved here, of course, in conversation, thank you so much to War Hero, Charles, Egg. I'm just going to call you Egg from now on because I just think that's fucking simple. Charles Schultz, Darren G, and Nathan Banks. Thank you all for tuning in. So until our World's Ends coverage, until next time. What?
It is Egg. It's ever since he had a verified email, it added all that extra shit to it.
Okay, so got it. He's a robot, and I'm a tired simple man that's gonna finally try and pull the plug on all you guys. So
Hey,
until
no, can
next time,
I say the line?
Go ahead, Nick.
All right. Cut the fucking feed. Cut the feed. Cut the feed.
Well done, my friend. Make a part about it live. Have a good night. Face to the predicting World's End, folks. We'll see you for our coverage at 7 p.m. And I cannot fucking wait for this shit that's in professional wrestling. Damn it! All right,
better than
bitch.
them, and they know it.
Damn fucking right. Have a good night, folks.
All right, cut the feed.